everybody that's in the room. Hey, Emmanuel Briggs. It is really good to see you. I worked today. I actually worked a double shift today, and I was not planning on going live at all. I had a playlist ready to go with like just random stories, like how we usually do it. But one story was just too crazy and fucked up to ignore or like pass up on, no matter what. I was just like, you know what, I'll just go live, I'll grab all of the clips that I can just about this one story so we could talk about it. And then I don't know, I'm thinking maybe tomorrow in the morning I'll come back and continue with the Joel Guy Jr. trial. I definitely don't want to leave that situation unfinished, so probably tomorrow in the morning, because I do close tomorrow, so it won't be at night. It'll have to be like in the morning or in the early afternoon. Hi Danielle, thank you so much for being here. So today it is going to be a little bit different compared to how we usually do things. We're just going to look at the one story because it was just insane. Let me know if you've heard about this already. I know, Danielle, you have. I saw that you commented and liked my IG post about it. I do appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody for liking my videos, for subscribing to my channel and supporting me. Donations that get sent are very much appreciated. I really appreciate it so much. Yes, I really intended just to work and just do research, you know, just get playlists together, that kind of thing. But this one story was just too wild. I don't know. Have you heard about it, Emmanuel? I titled my live based on that, and I also did the thumbnail for it. But it involves a quote-unquote father that killed his children a couple of days ago. And more information has been released about it, and it's just getting crazier and crazier by the moment. When I was looking at the situation, I read an article about it, and I was getting Lori Vallow type vibes, because it's a quote-unquote religious man who has these wild theories about life. Lori Vallow, with her, it was like end of the world type shit, and then with this guy, it's like reptilians. I think something about like serpent DNA. He thinks that his wife had certain serpent DNA and passed it to his children, and therefore he believed they were going to turn into monsters, so he killed them. He took them over to Mexico, which is something that I'm confused about, because it doesn't seem like he tried at all to like hide or run away or anything like that. It looks like he committed his crime and then just made it very easy for them to find him. I don't know why anybody would want to be stuck in a Mexican jail over an American jail. I mean, prison is prison, but I've always heard that the ones in Mexico are really bad. So I'm not too sure who's going to call dibs on where he gets tried, or, you know, where he ends up getting incarcerated. So that's going to be interesting. But I wanted to say that I did work a double shift today. I had like 3 hours in between. So at that time, I went ahead and just grabbed all the clips that I could find having to do with the situation. I have not seen them other than just like a little bit here and there. So some of these might be repetitive, so I do apologize for that. Normally, I like to watch the clips and just delete whatever has already been said. But I honestly just didn't have the time for it today, and I really wanted to get into this story. And I also thought, you know, 23 clips, that's not really a lot anyways. They're short, so it'll give us time at least to talk about it and really just let it sink in what happened here, because I'm telling you, the more you find out about it, it just gets uglier and uglier. So let's get into it. As far as what I do know from the top of my head is that this man, his name is Matthew Taylor Coleman, and he was an owner of a surfing school, I believe, in Santa Barbara. He had a wife and 2 infant children. He told his wife that he was going to take them out for like a nature walk or something like that. I'm not too sure. I'm sure we'll find that out today. And then he ended up crossing the border into Mexico, and I think he stabbed them to death, or I heard something about a spear gun. I'm not too sure, but we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me stop sharing this screen, and let's go to my playlist that I created for us to watch. I hope we don't have any issues today, because I know I've been having issues with my internet. I don't know what that's about, but with the shorter clips, it's really not too big of a deal. I want to say that I haven't been having too much trouble. I think that's another reason why I kind of stopped watching the Joel Guy trial. I don't know if it's because they're like longer videos, they take more time to load. I've never had that issue either. You know, we've sat through trials before, and I never had you know, my videos buffering and stuff like that, but for some reason nowadays that's happening. So I think that's another reason why I stopped covering the Joel Guy trial, because every time I would pause and hit play, it would start buffering. And then the last time I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop the live right here, like right in the middle of like day 2. But I will go back to it. It's only 4 days of trial anyways, so I really do want to see it all the way through. So let's go ahead and get started. This first clip is from August 10th, and that was 2 days ago, and it is called Santa Barbara Man Accused of Killing His 2 Kids in Mexico, and these should be in order. And this is courtesy of ABC 10 News. So this is like pretty much when the news broke about what happened.
Father under arrest.
Sorry, I don't know why it just started like that. Let's try again.
A Southern California father under arrest accused of killing his 2 young children in Mexico. He was caught in San Ysidro trying to get back into the United States. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. The FBI, Customs and Border Protection, and multiple police departments are now working with Mexican law enforcement on this case. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo joins us on this story, where the family is originally from Santa Barbara, we're told. Laura?
Stephen, Lindsay, and some of the details of this investigation are just too graphic to share. Mexican officials have confirmed that the suspect is 40-year-old Matthew Taylor. They have not actually released his last name to us at this moment. We have confirmed that he was arrested at the San Ysidro port of entry by CBP officers as he was attempting to re-enter the country. Now, according to the Baja California State Attorney General, the bodies of the 2 young children were found yesterday morning. This is video from our reporting partner, Televisa. The toddlers are a boy and a girl, ages 1 and 3. Officials say Taylor checked into a Rosarito hotel on Saturday with his children using a California license. The 3 were seen on surveillance video leaving the hotel yesterday around 2 in the morning. The father came back to the hotel hours later alone. The children were reportedly stabbed multiple times with a wooden stake. Mexican authorities say they've used social media to trace the suspect and believe that he is from Santa Barbara, where he owns a local surf school. Late this evening, Santa Barbara police confirmed they are investigating a missing persons case reported by a mother who says her children and husband have been missing since Saturday. So the FBI in Los Angeles is actually the lead agency in this investigation on this side of the border. They have confirmed that they do have an adult male in federal custody while this investigation continues. Reporting live, Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Okay, and I just wanted to mention real quick that the story broke on the news Tuesday, August 10th, and the wife says that the husband went missing Saturday, August 7th. So sometime between the 7th and the 10th, I don't know how much time he spent with them before he took them out to that field and then did what he did. This is a horrific story. This is really tragic, and I just could not ignore it. Like I worked all day today, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then finally I just made up my mind and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna put the other stories on the back burner for a little bit, and I'm gonna go live and cover this because this is a big deal. This is horrific, awful, cruel, insane. I mean, I don't like saying insane or crazy when it comes to suspects because I feel like I'm giving them like some kind of um, excuse or like a reason for what they did. And come on, this guy, he had a surfing school, he was a business owner. Like, you can't say that he wasn't all there. He was a fully functioning quote unquote man who completely turned on his own family and killed his children. Sweet Vampy says, I'm already pissed. What kind of man kills kids? Exactly. There's just no way I could just let another day go by without talking about this. So I had to just do a whole live, and we're just gonna watch news clips about this. Emmanuel Brick says this is the reason why we have at that penalty, and he definitely needs to get it. What a piece of shit. He is a total piece of shit, son of a bitch. I don't like talking shit. It doesn't even feel natural to me. But in this situation, fuck that. No, I didn't get to see your stream, but I did, I know about it. So I was gonna watch that probably, I'm not too sure, probably tomorrow or the weekend. Honestly, I worked a double shift today, which means that I worked like the morning and then I was off for a couple hours in between and then I closed. So I pretty much worked all day today. And then when I wasn't working, I was getting this live prepared. But I will watch it. I get you. I get you, Amanda Breaks. Thanks for correcting that, though. Alright, so we just saw this clip. Let's go ahead and continue on. Welcome everybody that's entering the chat. We just got started. We just watched the first clip and we have 22 more to go. I did not see these already. Normally I like to watch them and just make sure that none of the information is just repeating itself over and over, but like I just said, I was working all day today, so I didn't have time to do that, and I really wanted to get into the story and talk about it with you all. So I just made a playlist, so my apologies if some of the information is like repetitive and they're saying it over and over. I did start from when the news broke, so like the how do I say it? As we go along, it'll be more recent news, so it will unfold and develop as it did in real time. So let's go ahead and erase that and let's continue on. This next clip is called Santa Barbara Man Suspected of Killing His Two Toddlers Arrested at San Isidro Border, and this was courtesy of CBS 8 San Diego.
We're following up.
And this was posted August 11th. So the last clip was August 10th, so I'm guessing that news broke like pretty late in the day because that was the only one that I found from August 10th, and now we're looking at the clips from yesterday. So let's watch.
We're following a heartbreaking story of Mexico where a surf school owner with ties to San Diego is accused of murdering his two toddlers.
Their bodies were found on a ranch south of Rosarito. The suspect, a father from Santa Barbara, is in custody here in the U.S. News 8's Richard Allen joins us from the San Isidro border crossing tonight with the very latest. Richard?
Well, that's right. It was here at the San Isidro border crossing Monday morning that 40-year-old Matthew Taylor Coleman was arrested as he tried crossing from Mexico into the United States, just hours after his two young children, a 3-year-old boy and 1-year-old girl, were discovered stabbed to death.
Un empleado de este rancho.
The Attorney General for Baja California Tuesday said that a worker at a ranch in El Descanso near Primo Tapio, about a half-hour drive south of Rosarito, made the horrific discovery at around 7:30 Monday morning. The two toddlers had been repeatedly stabbed with a wooden stake. The girl had 12 stab wounds, while the boy had 17.
Arribó el día 7 de agosto.
Using surveillance images, authorities in Mexico determined that on Saturday evening at around 8, Coleman had checked into a City Express hotel in Rosarito with his 2 children. Early Monday morning, shortly before 3 a.m., Coleman can be seen in those surveillance images leaving the hotel with his kids, but then returns about 3.5 hours later by himself. Shortly after that, authorities arrested Coleman at the border on suspicion of murder. Leading up to Coleman's arrest, Santa Barbara police confirmed that Coleman's wife had reported her husband and her 2 young children missing, saying she was concerned for their well-being. Further investigations by police determined the 3 had possibly crossed into Mexico. Investigators in Mexico say that Coleman owns a surf school in Santa Barbara. According to the school's website, Coleman has ties to the San Diego area, earning his bachelor's degree at Point Loma Nazarene University before attending UC Santa Barbara for his master's. According to a statement from the FBI, Coleman remains in federal custody, while a joint investigation continues among federal investigators in Los Angeles and San Diego, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and Mexican authorities. And authorities on both sides of the border are now working to return the bodies of the 2 children here to California. In the meantime, Coleman could face extradition to Mexico to face murder charges, and if ultimately convicted, could spend at least the next 60 years in a Mexican prison.
He's gonna have to do time in a Mexican. Okay, make that, like, make me understand that. Okay, first of all, yes, he stabbed. He had 2 kids observing stuff. They're tiny. One of them was a toddler. The other one was a baby. He said this part of it we haven't gotten to that part yet, but I, looked ahead a little bit. And according to him, his wife had serpent DNA because he believes in like conspiracy theories, reptilians. Later on, they're going to say that he was into like QAnon and stuff, which I really don't know how that relates. But he told his wife he was going to take his kids out for a trip or something. He ended up going into Mexico, and his wife reported him missing on Saturday, and I want to say news broke Tuesday of this week, and he killed them with a stake. He left their bodies there in the field, and the stake was close by. He got apprehended coming back into the country. You don't know what QAnon is? They're like a group of people that believe about, the kids being trafficked, and that celebrities were involved in that somehow. And do you remember when like Oprah and Ellen had those ankle bracelets around their ankles? And people were saying that they had gotten arrested possibly for that, and then nothing came out of it. I don't even know what the ankle bracelets were about. I saw them with my own eyes, but nobody got arrested as far as I know. They also believe that Donald Trump, when he was president, was doing his part to like get rid of them, of the whole human trafficking situation. And then they also said that he was never gonna he was going to be elected president a second time, and then when he wasn't, that Donald Trump was gonna fight it, and he wouldn't be impeached or like not president again. But then none of that even panned out correctly. So yeah, that's QAnon, and even after Donald Trump, was no longer president, you would have thought that QAnon would have just dissolved, because a lot of their theories just went pretty much down the toilet when that didn't pan out. But I guess there's some people around that still believe. So this guy believed in that stuff, and in reality, we don't really know what was going on. I mean, this could all just be excuses, or not only excuses, but he could be. I'm telling you, this story is giving me Lori Vallow vibes, because he's saying all this stuff to. I don't know if he's just trying to make himself sound crazy. I don't know. Either way, he's gonna be locked up. He's not gonna be released. You can't just kill children and not be in prison. So, and then in Mexican prison, that part. Make me understand why you would want to be in a Mexican jail. I've heard they're the worst. So, Sweet Vampy says, so he killed the kids with a stake like a vampire would in shows. That's what it sounds like. I thought I had heard something about a spear gun, but we're gonna need to keep watching in order for us to find out more. Let me make sure that I erased the last clip. I did. Okay. Observing Stuff says, yeah, he's not getting out probably for the rest of his life. Exactly. So he doesn't even sound like he even tried to hide or get away. He was coming back probably to go back home. Yeah, the story's crazy. Let's continue. This next clip is called Santa Barbara Father Accused of Killing 2 Children in Mexico in Federal Custody, and this is courtesy of KSBY News.
A Santa Barbara father accused of killing his 2 children in Mexico is in federal custody. According to the Baja California State Attorney General, the bodies of the 2 children were found with multiple stab wounds at a ranch in the Rosarito area. Mexican authorities say the 40-year-old suspect, identified by his first and middle name, Matt Taylor, was arrested at the border as he tried to re-enter the United States. KSBY News reporter Delaney White spoke to neighbors about what they know about the suspect. Delaney?
I'm here in Santa Barbara at the suspect's home address, where neighbors tell me they're shocked by this news and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Evan Buell, a neighbor of the suspect, is shocked by the news.
Just shocked, frankly. Immensely tragic, and having known the two kids and the family, it's just awful. I really don't think I have any more words. I'm just stunned.
Buell says the couple was friendly and had children close in age to his own.
So they have 2 young kids. Their oldest is about a year or so younger than mine, and so, we'd see him walking down the street quite often, and it was just always very happy and fun, and the kids got along great. So
Buell says the suspect and his wife were extremely friendly neighbors, and nothing seemed out of place.
My assumption was they were married, and that they've been living in the house here for a couple years, and we're looking to start and raise a young family. So again, very similar to my wife and I, and so heart goes out to the family that's, I'm sure, recovering from just a horrific, tragic loss.
And the FBI released a statement on Tuesday saying the investigation is still ongoing. Reporting live in Santa Barbara, Delaney White.
Okay. Hey Reef, how's it going? Let me ask you something. How are people reacting to your new name there? Whoever wasn't here, Reef showed up with his new screen name, and it caused a very strong reaction in me. I thought somebody successfully deep trolled me because that name was just nothing I'd ever seen before in my chat. And I thought maybe somebody was undercover and they were modded. So I was like, who is that? So my apologies for that very strong reaction, Reef. I had never seen that before. But we're good. Yeah, we can call him Bit. That's a good one, Sweet Vampy. But yes, that's Reefa. Alright, let's continue. I think we just saw this one. Okay, so let's move along. So we had a reaction from a neighbor. He said something that caught my attention. He said that he assumed that his neighbors were married. So I'm guessing maybe they weren't, but hopefully that's information that we'll learn today. If not, maybe later on, because I'm definitely not going to let this story go. This is just too awful and heinous, and just provoked such a strong reaction in me when I found out about it. I had to talk about it, so I know I'm going to continue updating it as much as I can. Let's go ahead and continue. The next clip is called Santa Barbara Man Arrested Accused of Killing His 2 Children in Mexico, and this is courtesy of News Channel 3 through 12, or 3-12. This was posted yesterday.
Crime alert now, and to a horrific crime in Mexico. A Santa Barbara father is in federal custody tonight as a suspect in the killings of his 2 young children. Both children were stabbed to death. Fox 11 reporter Karen Cruz-Orduña has new information on that tonight.
2 Santa Barbara children were found dead with stab wounds in Rosarito, Baja California, Mexico.
I saw some blood stains and I looked a little further. My dog was the one that located the 2 tiny bodies. I did not know the gender of the bodies, and I did not want to look any closer and left, so I called 911.
According to Baja California State Attorney General's office, a ranch employee found bloodstains and the body of 2 children ages 1 and 3 with stab wounds. A wooden stake stained with blood was also found.
On August 7th, at approximately 8 p.m., you can see the man was making a transaction at the Hotel City Express, located in Rosarito, and you can see he was accompanied by the 2 infants.
Mexican officials were able to locate camera footage of a hotel where the children stayed with a man identified as 40-year-old Matthew Taylor Coleman of Santa Barbara, the children's father. The security camera also showed the man leaving the hotel with his children early in the morning. He returned several hours later alone. Investigators said both children died. The young girl was stabbed 12 times and the boy stabbed 17 times.
He has a master's degree and seems like a prepared person, so he was very clear of the consequences based on the acts that were being carried out.
Santa Barbara police tell us the mother of the children filed a missing persons report for them and her husband on Sunday. Police tell us they are now working with agents on both sides of the border. Mexican officials say if Coleman is charged and convicted south of the border, he faces 60 to 120 years in prison.
He was driving a Mercedes-Benz. By the time he tried to cross back to the United States, there was an alert active for him. CBP detained him at the border entry.
Family members had to help Mexican authorities confirm the identity of the 2 children. For now, Coleman remains in federal custody in Los Angeles. In Santa Barbara County, Karen Cruz-Orduña, Fox 11 News.
Okay, so this is him checking into the hotel, and you can see one of his children is right here next to him. I don't know where his other child is, because the other child is actually tinier than this one here, which is awful to think about. Sweet Vampy says 12 times and 17 times. Really, what a monster. I mean, think about it. Did it even take that many times? Like, he really, like, got into it whenever he was doing that. And it's just disgusting. Like, I can't even say it. This is horrible. And I don't pretend, like, to be an expert in, like, conspiracy theories and life and the world and government and why things are the way they are. I don't have the answers. You know, I'm just guessing, as most of us are. I won't ever say that I've been down every rabbit hole there is to go down when it comes to conspiracy theories, but I do know a little bit. You know, I have researched, like, the reptilian theory and, you know, about the moon and flat earth, and I know a little bit about everything, but never ever did I allow it to consume my life so much that I was actually changing the way I was and the way I thought and what I believed in. I have an open mind. I'm willing to hear people out. I will do my own research. I have all kinds of books in my tablet as well, having a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, I'll be honest, I do my research when it comes to, like, the end of the world, the biblical theory of it anyways, or, you know, what they say, like the apocalypse and stuff like that. Like, to be honest, I'm kind of into that, but not so much that I'm, like, looking for signs and saying, like, oh, this is, like, the newest doom date, you know, this is when the world's gonna end. I know, like, none of that. So I'm having a hard time, in a way, relating to what was going on in his mind, to the point that even if he is saying stuff like, oh, I believe in QAnon and I believe in, like, reptilians, and then he starts saying that his wife has serpent DNA, like, Really? Do you really believe that? Or are you just saying that because you think that an insanity plea would go easier on you? Like, what's really going on in this dude's head? He stabbed his kids to death with a wooden stake. Like, first of all, can't relate to that at all. But I still try to, like, step inside his mind in some kind of way to try to understand why somebody would do something like this. And I just can't. I always end up thinking to myself, this guy's just full of shit. Something else was going on. Maybe him and his wife weren't getting along. Maybe he was getting into these theories and she was just like, that's crazy, like, you know, this is overtaking your life, you're talking different, you're acting different, you know. But I don't really believe that he thought in real life that his wife had serpent DNA. That's just too much. I can't go. Sweet Vampy says, I hope he gets 160 years in a Mexican jail. That's another thing. Why would you want to go to a Mexican prison? I'm sick too. I want to vom just thinking about it. Sweet Vampy says, I don't care how angry I get in life. I'd never kill a child ever. Me either. How could you do something like that? And later on, you'll hear that he says that he killed them because he believed they were turning into monsters. Who does that sound like? Lori Vallow. According to her, her kids had turned into zombies. What the fuck is really going on? What if it turns out that there is some kind of like underground cult that we don't know about, and they're like brainwashing their followers into believing this shit? I mean, this is happening on the other side of the country from like Lori Vallow's situation, but I mean, communication is very easily done nowadays, especially. So I mean, it could be. I'd be more inclined to believe an underground cult than you know, believing in what he's saying, why he did what he did. Observing Stuff says he could say he believes in flying cabbages. Do we blame the flying cabbage community too? I mean, if they're not advocating killing kids, no. But if it turns out that it's a group of people that we just don't know about, and they are brainwashing people into believing this, then yes, we will blame the community as well. Well, I will. Sweet Vampy says, holy fucking hell, for reals. I hope they fought like it. There were little babies, Sweet Vampy. Look at the little child next to him. Super tiny. Like, what? How? They had no chance at all. Hey, Alan Crooks, how you doing? Observing Stuff says he turned into the monster. Exactly. The only monster in this story is him. Completely. Sweet Vampy says, are you fucking kidding me? Really? That's his excuse to kill his own kids like that? Mm-hmm. I want 2 minutes with him. We'll tag team. I'm in. Fuck this guy. Alright, let's continue. The next clip is called California Man Taken into Custody at Border Entry After 2 Children Found Dead in Mexico, and this is courtesy of Fox 5 San Diego. And this was posted yesterday.
Good evening. We begin tonight with new details in just a heartbreaking story just across the border. 2 American toddlers were found dead in Mexico, and now their father, the founder of a California surfing school, is accused of brutally killing them. Matthew Coleman reportedly took his kids to a hotel in Rosarito, then to a ranch about 30 minutes south of the area, where their bodies were later found. Coleman was taken into custody at the San Ysidro Port of Entry Monday morning, and that's where we find our Kasha Gregorczyk with what we know.
We are told a missing persons report filed by Coleman's wife is what caused CBP to stop him here at the San Ysidro Port of Entry around 7 o'clock on Monday morning. That is around the same time Mexican authorities were receiving a 911 call from someone who said they found the bodies of 2 children. Mexican authorities are releasing details about the discovery of 2 young children brutally murdered just about an hour south of the border, and they believe the kid's father is responsible. Officials say a young boy about 3 years old suffered 17 stab wounds, while a baby girl about 1 year old was found with 12 stab wounds. On Saturday, August 7th, surveillance video shows 40-year-old Matthew Taylor Coleman checking into a hotel in Rosarito around 8 p.m. By Sunday, August 8th, the Santa Barbara Police Department takes 3 missing persons reports from a mother who says her husband and children have been missing for about 24 hours. During the initial investigation, police find evidence the father and kids have possibly traveled to Mexico. Monday, August 9th, Mexican officials say hotel video again shows Coleman with his 2 kids leaving the hotel at 2:54 a.m. Mexican authorities receive a 911 call at 7:22 a.m. from a ranch in the city of El Descanso, about 30 minutes south of the hotel, where 2 bodies have been found. They also find a wooden spear nearby, covered in blood. A field worker says he saw blood on the ground, then his dog led him to the bodies of 2 toddlers, reportedly only wearing diapers. Around the same time Monday morning, Coleman is stopped at the San Ysidro port of entry, triggered by the missing persons alert from Santa Barbara. Tuesday, the FBI confirmed Coleman is in custody in the United States and a joint investigation is underway. According to authorities, Coleman went to Point Loma Nazarene University for his undergraduate degree and attended UC Santa Barbara for his master's. He also owns Lovewater Surf School in Santa Barbara. The FBI is leading this investigation involving Mexican authorities, Santa Barbara Police, and Customs and
A Santa Barbara.
Okay, that ended abruptly. I was distracted. Sorry. Let me just see if that meant to happen. Hold on.
Involving Mexican authorities, Santa Barbara Police, and Customs and
A Santa.
Wow, that was rude. They just cut her off. All right, let's continue. We'll remove that. The next clip is called U.S. Father Accused of Killing Kids in Mexico, and this was posted yesterday and courtesy of ABC 10 News. That last clip was actually really helpful because it had a timeline. It's truly unfortunate that they just rudely cut her off like that.
A Santa Barbara father is in federal custody tonight, accused of killing his own 2 young children in Mexico. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. Kimberly Hunt has the night off. Mexican authorities say that man was arrested in San Ysidro as he was trying to re-enter the country. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo has the latest details.
This investigation involves a number of agencies on both sides of the border. The children's bodies were reportedly found by a ranch worker about 18 miles from where they were staying with their father. I do want to warn you, some of the details of this story are disturbing. Mexican officials say this is 40-year-old Matthew Taylor with his 2 young children, captured on surveillance video at a Rosarito hotel.
Muy buenas tardes.
In a press conference Tuesday, the Baja California State Attorney General provided the gruesome details of how they suspect he killed his children. This video is from our reporting partner Televisa of the scene where the children's bodies were found Monday morning. According to Mexican authorities, Taylor checked into a City Express hotel on Saturday with his children using his California ID. The 3 were last seen leaving the hotel around 2 in the morning Monday. Taylor later returned without his kids and left the hotel. The Attorney General says Taylor stabbed his 2 children, a boy and a girl, ages 1 and 3, multiple times with a wooden stake. Using social media to trace him, authorities say Taylor is a surf school instructor from Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara police confirmed they are investigating a missing persons case reported by a mother who says her children and husband have been missing since Saturday. The FBI is the lead agency in this investigation on this side of the border. They have confirmed that they do have an adult male in federal custody while they investigate. Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
I hope that wasn't a repeat. It shouldn't be. But I believe that we heard from Laura Acevedo earlier. but I think that was a different clip from before. Alright, let's see. Sweet Vampy says, no way they would have fought back. I didn't know the ages. Yeah, they were itty bitty little babies. They didn't stand a chance against a grown-ass man. I mean, just, he was in shape. Like, I'm not complimenting him at all, but I mean, he was a surf school owner, I believe. Yeah. So, this is somebody that was fit and strong, and he easily overpowered these little babies. It's just disgusting to think of. I hate him. Okay, let's continue. The next video clip is called California Surf School Owner Arrested on Suspicion of Killing His 2 Children in Mexico. This was posted yesterday and courtesy of ABC 7. And for those of you that are just entering the room, I didn't go through these clips because I worked all day today, but I really wanted to cover this story, so I just grabbed all the clips that I could find. So some of the information is repetitive, and I do apologize for that, but it's important anyways to be thorough, so we're gonna watch them all. Alright, so let's watch this next clip.
Now at 11.
Oops.
In the horror south of the border, a SoCal dad famous for his surf school is accused of murdering his 2 young kids, stabbing them to...
Dude. That's his little baby. What the fuck? If that doesn't make you angry, like, I don't know what will. This story is slowly, like, tearing me up inside. Like, I want to say I'm too angry to be sad, but then I see the little babies and... God, like, how could you do that? How could you fucking do this? So many options. If you don't want your... Listen, if you made a family and you got married, you had kids, you could still step away. There's divorce, there's all kinds of other things, you know, arrangements that could be made. What he did is disgusting. I can't believe, like, people were friends with him. I can't believe he was just walking this planet as a quote-unquote normal human being. What made him do this? Was he always like this on the inside and he just, what? Lashed out someday? Like, what the fuck? Honestly, if I ever go to, like, college, I think criminal, like, psychology would be what I would go for. Just so I can understand, like, the criminal mind more, because I cannot comprehend at all how somebody could do this to their own child, to a baby in general, to a defenseless, innocent little baby. And then he says that they were turning into monsters. Like, babies and kids are the most innocent people on this planet, and he called them monsters and killed them. He's the only monster in this situation, him. It couldn't be that he turned into a monster and he did this to them. No. In his eyes, or allegedly, because I really don't even know how much I believe in his story. I think it's just an excuse. I think he's just trying to go for, like, some kind of insanity plea, because he didn't even try to, like, evade. He pretty much just walked himself right into getting arrested. Let's watch this clip.
Death and dumping their bodies in Mexico. It's a disturbing crime that has shocked communities from Santa Barbara to Rosarito, Mexico. Eyewitness News reporter Alex Cheney joins us now live with new information tonight. Alex?
David, it's a gruesome crime, and tonight we have new surveillance camera footage that shows the man entering the hotel with his 2 children and then leaving without them. A Santa Barbara man, Matt Taylor Coleman, is now facing serious charges in the U.S. and Mexico after a grisly discovery along a scenic road linking Tijuana and Ensenada. That's where a Mexican farm worker found pools of blood and the bodies of 2 babies in diapers, both stabbed to death. That farm worker quickly calling the police. The murdered toddlers, a 1-year-old and 3-year-old, are the children.
Dude, and we haven't even talked about the mom. Imagine how she's feeling right now. She trusted him. He told her he was gonna take the kids out, like, on a trip or something, and she was probably like, okay. I'm telling you, for her to have, like, allowed it, she trusted him, meaning they had to have had a at least semi good relationship. Maybe not, you know, maybe she would have still let him. Maybe she just could never have fathomed that he would be capable of doing something like this. But I think that she trusted him into doing what he said he was going to do, and that's just take him out for a trip and then come back with them. And then he went missing. She reported him missing, and then they turned up dead, and he was arrested. I can't even imagine what she's feeling right now, what she's thinking right now. Beautiful lady, and her whole world just broke apart over a couple of days. It's crazy. Oh yeah, Observing Stuff said he's probably aiming for insanity. If they buy it, he should never get out, and I don't think he will. Think about it. He's gonna go to a Mexican prison. Why? He took them across the border on purpose and killed them there, and then just walked right back into America. What was he thinking? Like, what? And he's pretty much cooperating with authorities. He's not, other than like the conspiracy theories and the QAnon stuff that he's saying, he's not admitting to it. Like, he flat out admitted that he did what he did. Like, he wants to be caught. Why? He was the owner of a surfing school. He had his own business. Like, I don't think that money would have been a problem. You know, like, how rough was his life that a Mexican prison started to look good? Observing Stuff says he could be insane, but I hope Mexico has a death penalty. We gotta find out. Let me see if I could do a quick search. Maybe I'll just ask, does Mexico have a death penalty? Let's find out. This says capital punishment in Mexico was officially abolished on March 15 of 2005. Having not been used in civil cases since 1957 and in military cases since 1961, Mexico is the world's most populous country to have completely abolished the death penalty. So that answers our question. He will be doing life, most likely. Sweet Vampy says, oh my god, they're so adorable. I'm crying. Trust me, if I wasn't so angry, I'd be breaking down right now. If I wasn't so angry and confused. Oh, Alex. Oh, look at this. Get a vaccine or please get dead. Thank you very much. That's so cute. That is so cute, Alex. Really. Let me, well, if you popped up in my chat, I'd block you, but somehow yeah, he probably blocked all of us. It's cool, don't worry about it. We'll figure something out for Alex. Alex has issues. Let's continue. Look how pretty the son's smile is. Yeah, he's a gorgeous kid. Gorgeous, gorgeous kid. And he's no longer with us. Observing Stuff says, wow, I'm shocked. Death penalty saves money. I'm just saying. That's true. But let me do something real quick. Sorry guys. Let me just try something really quick here. Let's see. Observing Stuff says I didn't see them. Oh, that's what happened. Let's continue this clip here.
Children of Matt Taylor Coleman, who along with his wife Abby Coleman run the Love Water Surf School in Santa Barbara. The popular surfing school's website features photos of the entire Coleman family. At a news conference today, the State Attorney General of Baja California released new information about the case, including surveillance images he says tracked Matt Taylor Coleman's and his children's movements in Mexico. He says the evidence shows Coleman left the City Express Hotel in Rosarito at 2:45 a.m. with both of his children and returned about 3 hours later by himself and later checking out. In Santa Barbara, Abby Coleman called police, worried about the well-being of her husband and children who had been missing for 24 hours. She shared information with detectives that her husband may have traveled to Mexico. Santa Barbara police alerted the FBI and Border Patrol about the 3 missing Californians. As Coleman tried to re-enter the U.S. from Mexico without his 2 children, he was detained by U.S. Border Police.
Thanks, Observing. I went to my other channel to see if I could see them through there, and I didn't. But yeah, you're probably right. I'll have to fix that on my end too. Thanks, Observing.
The FBI is now the lead investigative agency in the U.S. Matt Coleman could still be extradited to Mexico to face charges for murdering his children.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking.
Thanks, Mark Brown. Alright, yeah, that was really distracting. So rude. We're talking about children that are murdered by their father in a brutal, cruel manner, and some punk is acting like a total idiot. That's fucking sad. But trust me, I believe that shit like that doesn't go by unnoticed. People can think that they're being funny, or I don't know, maybe he thinks he's like doing something really, really bad and he's really proud of himself, or interrupting a live stream that has nothing to do with, first of all, the vaccine, and then if we choose not to get vaccinated, he wants us to die. Like, that's fucking pathetic and stupid. It's not even funny. That was really lame. But now, plus side is now I know how to see all the chats. So thanks, Alex. I learned something today. Thanks to you. Alright, let's continue. Next clip is called Dad Charged with Murder of Children, and is courtesy of Fox 5 San Diego. And this was posted yesterday.
Top of some breaking news right now, just into the Fox 5 newsroom. A Santa Barbara man has just been charged with murdering his 2 young children in Mexico. 40-year-old Matthew Taylor Coleman was arrested Monday at the San Ysidro port of entry. It came just hours after his children's bodies were found on a ranch near Rosarito, Mexico. Both those kids were under the age of 3 and suffered over a dozen stab wounds. Just moments ago, the U.S. Attorney in Los Angeles announced Coleman will be charged with foreign murder of United States nationals. He will make his first appearance in front of a federal judge this afternoon in Los Angeles. Coleman is a graduate of Point Loma Nazarene University.
Okay, let's continue. That was a short clip, but let's go on. This next clip is called Santa Barbara Dad Admits to Killing Kids in Rosarito, and that's in Mexico. So see, he's completely like cooperating with police, admitting what he did. So help me make sense of this. He wants to be in a Mexican prison? Like, how horrible could his life have been that a Mexican prison was looking pretty good? Just, and then, I mean, and then what he did obviously is horrible and heinous. But I'm really trying to step into his mind here. He knows what he did. It's like the Mexican government said earlier in the clips. He's an educated man. He's a businessman. He was very aware of what he did and what the consequences were going to be. Where the fuck did things go wrong? Alright, let's watch. Sweet Vampy says we're supposed to give a fuck where he went to college. Big whoop-de-doo. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, who cares? He's a killer. He killed his children. Fuck his accomplishments. I think the point that was being made there, or that what I understood from there, was that he's of sound mind and body. He's not somebody that was struggling with mental illness, or even something as like something like poverty, maybe, you know, struggling with life, you know, with money, that kind of thing. Like, this guy pretty much had it made, is what they were saying. He went to college and he had his own business. Like, he was successful in some ways. I'm just trying to understand what, and It sounds like he was sober too. Thank you. That's another good point. Alright, let's watch this next clip.
The owner of a California surf school telling investigators he stabbed and killed his 2 children because he believed they were, quote, going to grow into monsters. Good evening. I'm Lindsay.
Because he believed that they were going to, quote, become monsters. And remember, Lori Vallow, according to her, believed that her kids were turning into zombies. And these are like religious fanatics, okay? It sounds like. I don't know. Maybe not this guy just yet, but I know Lori Vallow for sure was a religious nutcase, if you will. What church, what organization, what parish, what ministry, what group is teaching this shit, if that's what's going on? Or where are they getting this from? Because this is, I'm sorry, but maybe this is going to be the new epidemic. Parents that are religious fanatics turning on their kids because somebody's telling them that they're turning into zombies and monsters. Who's teaching them this shit? Sweet Vampy says, I'm struggling right now and you don't see me killing people. Exactly. I'm going through my own struggles too. You will never see me like injure, hurt, take it out on another person. What did I do? I was struggling with something and I got my ass out there and I found myself a job. And I'm still struggling, but at least I'm working. And with a little help and cooperation, I'm going to get through this. And I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to do what I can to get past what I'm going through right now. I'm not going to give up. Like, I'm not going to give up, and even less am I going to take it out on the people around me. I've met some real grumpy people in life, and I'm just like, what happened to you, dude? Because I've been through hell and back several fucking times, and nobody will ever say, like, oh yeah, like, she was mean to me, and I didn't deserve it. Or yeah, she hurt me, and I didn't do anything to her. Like, that's fucking crazy. Emmanuel Brick says if he's in a Mexican prison and he doesn't get out of there and they're going to pass his ass around like a cigarette, this is what I mean. He's going to go to a Mexican prison. Does he even know Spanish? Is he even going to be able to like work deals and stuff like that? Like, there's not going to be like in America where your best case scenario is joining a gang that's of your race, if you will, for protection. There's not going to be that. It's just going to be him with a bunch of Spanish speaking people, and they're going to look at him fucked up as it is for the reason that he's in there, and then on top of that, he's going to be completely different from everybody else. He's going to have a shitty ass fucking time in Mexican prison. That's just insane to me how he would want that for himself. He knew what he was doing. He committed the crime on the other side of the border. Good, I'm happy for that. He deserves it. Yes. Sweet Vampy says maybe it's a different kind of cult. We gotta learn more. I definitely want to get into, first of all, the group that Lori Vallow was into. I know they were the Latter-day Saints. I forgot what they're called. LSD or something like that. LDS. LSD. Listen to me. What was this guy into? I haven't heard anything about religion too much other than like the conspiracy theories that he was into about reptilians. That doesn't come from church. QAnon, that's not a religious church thing. Serpent DNA, that might be, if you believe like that Satan was the snake in the Garden of Eden, maybe. But I haven't really heard any hardcore like church activities in this guy's life. I'm definitely going to be looking out for that because I want to know more. What is this? Because if it turns out that there is a group like teaching this shit, then we need to shut it down ASAP. Observing Stuff says, shit, I'm struggling too. This year sucks for real. I've been through it all. Like, I left home at 23 years old with nothing but a garbage bag full of clothes and little things, a hamster, and my chihuahua. For the first like 6 months in my first apartment, I slept on the floor. I didn't even have a bed. I didn't have furniture. I didn't have a table. I didn't have a couch. I didn't have a TV. I just kept going to work, and then people were like coming over and were like, dude, you need stuff. And then before you knew it, I was attracting like things into my life. And then I was making my own money, so eventually I was saving up, and then I slowly like got what I needed. I never once thought like that I would off myself or somebody else just because of the shit I was going through. That's insane. Observing stuff says I kill people helps pass the time. He's kidding. For anybody, yeah, just kidding. Oh my gosh. Observing stuff said those inmates might give him the death penalty. They're not gonna like a child killer amongst them. I mean, it could be like cartel motherfuckers in there too, and they kill children. I'm not gonna lie. They have no problem killing children. It would be pretty hypocritical if that's the situation. But then again, he's not one of them. So they're probably gonna treat him different no matter what. And let's find out, does Mexico have solitary confinement? Let's find out. It says state law now restricts. No, this is New Mexico. No, like Mexico, like the country. I'm gonna put Mexico country because that was New Mexico. Does Mexico have solitary confinement? It says is widely used in prisons. No, just New Mexico. I don't know why New Mexico is the only information I'm finding. We'll have to look into that. Yeah, no, I have no idea. I will find out though. For some reason it keeps popping up with New Mexico, and that's completely different. So Yvampi says, just to put it bluntly, I have no floors in my kitchen and dining room, and I got kicked out by my grandparents over me loving someone outside my race. That's terrible. I got kicked out by my grandma because I didn't want to stay home all the time, and I wanted to live my own life. Like, I was literally 23 years old, and she was still like getting after me because I wanted to do something as simple as like go to the movies after work with my coworkers. People were talking and we were like, hey, let's go see a movie after work, and I was like, I gotta ask my grandma. I was like 23 years old, and I was like, I gotta ask my grandma. And then I asked her, and they could hear her bitching me out over the phone, and I was just like, I'm going. And I would do things like that. I was slowly just going, even if she didn't want me to go, and then finally she just kicked me out. She was like, if I'm not gonna do what she wants me to do, which makes no sense, because at least before she had me around sometimes, and then she kicked me out and she had me around 0 times, and then I never went back because make that shit make sense. It didn't. So I bounced and I stayed away. So Yampi says that has no religious stuff in it. Yeah, exactly. Observing stuff says shit, LSD never made me want to kill anybody or be violent at all. Are you kidding? Now I don't even know what to believe. Observing. Emmanuel Briggs says, Vampy, sorry to hear that. Things will get better soon. They will, and I can tell you that from experience. You just don't give up. I know it sounds... I personally get kind of annoyed when I'm going through something and then people tell me things like, don't give up, you know, it'll pass, things will get better, and, you know, you just gotta believe and stuff like that. I'm just like, no, you don't understand. Like, everything sucks right now. I'm never gonna get out of it. I'm like the worst. I always think the worst. And sometimes I feel like that helps me through it, because the reality is that it's not as bad as I make it out to be in my mind. So things do work out just little by little. Things start falling into place, and then it'll be okay. Emmanuel Briggs says he better have a lot of protection money. I mean, I don't see his parents in the picture just yet, but I hope they don't turn out to be the types that'll be like, no, I can't believe that he would do something like that. I raised him better than that. He's confessing. So if they don't believe his confession, like, they might be as crazy as to be sending him money and stuff like that to get through prison in Mexico. Observing Stuff says, true, he's gonna be surrounded by monsters, but he's probably soft. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck for him. Observing Stuff says, also he's alone in there. Exactly. He's not gonna have anybody helping him unless, like you said, he's gonna have money where he could pay for protection. But let's see. Emmanuel Brick says, I think these idiots are using the religious angle for sympathy and they're just flat out murderers. I can see that. Don't snitch on me. Observing Stuff says, wow, yeah, that's embarrassing, treating you like a 13-year-old at 23. It was horrible. I hated it. Sweet Vampy says, I'm 35 and they don't like I'm with the black man. You're 35? No way. I thought you were way younger than that, to be honest. Like, people tell me this all the time, but, like, I really thought, like, you were younger than that. Good for you. Observing Stuff says, I've never killed anyone, but I've done LSD. It was fine. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'm too chicken shit to try something like that. I'll be the one to have a bad trip. So I won't go there. Sweet Vampy says, I do believe it. Well, though, I am hurt, but I'll be okay. You will be okay. Yeah, I thought Sweet Vampy was, like, really young. I thought she was, like, in her early 20s. Alright, let's watch this next clip. If I didn't call out the headline first before, it's Santa Barbara dad admits to killing kids in Rosarito. Let's watch.
The owner of a California surf school telling investigators he stabbed and killed his 2 children because he believed they were, quote, going to grow into monsters. Good evening. I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Matthew Coleman was taken into custody over the weekend at the San Ysidro border crossing after the bodies of his 1- and 3-year-old kids were found at a ranch near Rosarito. Our ABC 10 News reporter Leah Pizzetti is joining us after Coleman answered to charges in federal court this afternoon. Leah.
Steve, Lindsay, authorities do believe this Santa Barbara dad took his children down to Mexico where he killed them. They were then able to catch him as he tried to enter back into the U.S. here at the border. They say because of his phone.
Real quick, what do you all think? So he went across the border into Mexico and he killed his children. Had he not been apprehended right away, what do you think his next steps would have been? Like, what do you think the next part of the plan, the next phase of the plan was going to be? Go home and like come up with some crazy story, kind of like what Darion Venn said in the Malia Davis story. Remember, he tried saying that 3 Hispanic guys beat him up and took Malia. And then it turned out that, like, they didn't even exist. He even had, like, a bump on his head where they allegedly, like, hit him. And that didn't even, like, happen. Do you think he was going to try to say something like that? Like, somebody attacked him and took the kids? But he didn't even try coming up with a lie. As soon as they apprehended him, he pretty much just started singing like a bird. Sweet Vampy says, yeah, they found out and told me if I didn't stop talking to him, I'd get my phone line cut off and I'd be disowned, and we fell out because of that, and that's why I'm home now. I'm sorry. That's not fair at all. Wow. Observing Stuff says, I want to see the interrogation video. I'm guessing since he's admitting to what he did, I don't think I'm sure Mexican government is different from American, but I'm kind of wondering what his plea is going to be. It sounds like he's just going to go straight for guilty, and that would mean no trial, and that would mean no like evidence or anything like being released. But then again, it is Mexico, so they might release that stuff anyways. So we'll have to stay tuned for that one. Danielle says, I'm about to be 28 in September. My mom is still overprotective of me. Damn it. Well, how do you feel about it, Daniel? Like, maybe it's not so bad. But for me, like, I wanted to, I was like, I'm 23 years old. Like, I want to go places. I don't even want to have to ask. I want to just take off. Just be like, hey, I'm coming back. I'll be back when I'm back. You don't even know. One time when I was still living with my grandma, I really wanted to go see a wrestling show. I live like in South Texas, and this place was, I don't know, let me find out real quick. I know we're going off subject, but we're chatting and we're going with the flow. It's okay. Let me find out how far. This place was 2 hours and 45 minutes away. It wasn't even that far. I wanted to go to a wrestling show so bad. I'll check right now, I'm sorry. And we went, me and my boyfriend at the time decided that we're just gonna say fuck it, let's go. And my luck, on the way back there was like a really bad storm. And the smart thing to do would have been to have just gotten a room and stayed there and let the storm pass and then come back. But no, because Grandma was so strict, it was more necessary for me to put my life on the line, and we drove through the storm in what was it? It was a Firebird. So it was a very like low to the ground car, and there was like flooding. And on top of that, like, we brought the storm with us. So it was just raining and thunder, lightning. Like, I was so stressed out and nervous. And I was just like, this is bullshit. I shouldn't have to be going through this. I should have just been able to just get a room and wait out the storm and come back like a normal person. But no, I gotta be risking my life to get back home so Grandma doesn't bitch me out. Make it make sense. I swear. Observing stuff says Google how to be old. Okay. So it says, here are 10 ways to grow old gracefully that you may not have considered. Is that what you're talking about? I'll read them if that's right, unless you were thinking of something else. Sweet Vampy says, my mom is like that with me, but she's not overbearing like my grandma is. Man, that's rough though. Amanda Brooks says, my daughter's 24 and I'm always protective of her, and my 16-year-old parents never lose the urge for being protective with their children. Sometimes you can go a little bit too far though. Wrestling shows are fun. It was fun. It wasn't televised. It was a house show. I didn't go to a televised show until after I moved out, and I did that correctly. Like, we went, it was I think in San Antonio. It was actually the Raw when the stage fell on Vince McMahon. I was there for that. It was during one of the drafts. That was so much fun. I drank so much. That was literally like the best time. Alright, Sue Vampy says, when have any stream we have ever been on together? Stay on topic on and off of your stream. Never. Observing stuff says, the real question is, are your parents still protective over you still? Yeah, dude. I'll never have kids. I always imagine if I ever did have a kid in my life, it would be like an adoption. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll be in a position where I could like foster a child or adopt a child in need, because that life has already been put on this planet. Why should they like have to suffer more having to be in like in a really bad broken system? But I do not plan on having my own children. Alan Crook says, there's no outrunning a storm, you'll run right into it. Fuck yeah, we brought it right with us. It was a nightmare. Observing stuff says, no, I was joking because I turned 27, so I'm old. The kids call me old when I was 24, so now I'm ancient. Well, in that case, I'm prehistoric. Emmanuel Brick says, yep, my mom is 77 and she still yells at me for not putting on a jacket when it's cold out. That'll do it. Never say never, because I'm in 9 months you will have one. Don't be like my sister. Oh no, if you're talking to me, it's not gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. I'll swear on a stack of Bibles from every religion there is. I've had my mind set on that one since I was in high school. I said I'll never get married and I'll never have kids, and here I am, 37 years old, and I'm sticking to it. So it would have to take a miracle to get me to change my mind. Just saying. All right, let's continue watching this clip. I'm trying to remember how I stopped watching the clip and started talking. I'm sure it'll come to me.
How they were able to catch him. We do want to warn you though, the details.
Oh yeah, I was asking like what do you think the next part of his plan was going to be had he not been apprehended coming back into the United States from Mexico? What do you all think? Observing stuff says, I never want kids either. I said I would never have kids when I was 9 or 10. Yeah, I think I made up my mind sometime around high school. I actually took a parenting class that was available in high school. I remember my grandma freaked out on that one too. She thought that I took it because I wanted to become a parent right away. And I didn't. I took it because, well, first of all, I was babysitting a lot. So I was like, maybe this will help me with my babysitting. And of course my grandma took it all wrong. It was wild. Emmanuel Brooks says, y'all are youngins in here. I want everyone to take their vitamins and make sure they're in bed by 11:30, and don't forget to lock your doors and eat your vegetables. Okay. Aw, thanks. I'm telling you, I might adopt someday. If I find myself just doing really well somehow and something, I definitely would be a parent. All I'm saying is that this will not be happening here on my body. I'm not gonna be doing that. Sudambi says she said that not even a month later ended up being preggo and her daughter is now 16. Damn, that's crazy. Alright, let's continue. Yeah, so what do you guys think Matthew here was going to do? What was the next phase of his plan? Had he not been apprehended, do you think he would have made an excuse to his wife? Would he have tried to lie his way through the situation? Or do you think that he would have admitted to his wife right away? If he got home, assuming that that's where he was headed, was to go back home, he didn't have his kids with him. They're gonna ask, where are the kids? What happened to the kids? Observing stuff says, I have no idea what his crazy ass plan was. Me either. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to comprehend what this dude was thinking. This story totally took me by surprise, and I'm just trying to understand it.
Steve, Lindsay, authorities do believe this Santa Barbara dad took his children down to Mexico where he killed them. They were then able to catch him as he tried to enter back into the U.S. here at the border. They say because of his phone, that's how they were able to catch him. We do want to warn you, though, the details of this story are extremely difficult to hear. Court documents show Matthew Taylor Coleman, a Santa Barbara father and surf instructor, has been charged with foreign murder after authorities say he killed his 2-year-old son and 10-month-old daughter in Mexico. These documents show Coleman's wife reported her husband and 2 kids missing Saturday, at the time saying she did not think her kids were in danger, but worried that the baby did not have a car seat. Using the Find My iPhone app, investigators located Coleman in Rosarito, Mexico. Police say this photo shows Coleman and his kids checking into a hotel there. They believe he took them from the hotel to a nearby ranch, where he shot them with a spearfishing gun, killing them, then leaving their body.
Okay, did you hear that? Didn't they say that he killed them with a wooden stake, and now they're saying a spearfishing gun? Sweet Vampy says that he probably would have killed her too. My god, that's true. She would have confronted him for sure, and maybe he would have turned on her right away. That's crazy. Yeah, this is just insane. I wonder how long he was planning it. That's true too. That's another good point. Amanda Brick says maybe he was a budding serial killer. Watch, maybe there's other murders that he hasn't been, like, I always wonder in these situations, like, has there been other murders before this happened? Is this really the first time? That's always in the back of my head. Observing stuff says from a stake to a fishing gun. Was the stake attached to the fishing gun? That's a good point. In the earlier clips, they said it was with a stake because the man that found the body said that he found a bloody stake close by. So maybe they assumed at first that it was a stake, but then it turned out to be whatever they just called it, a spear gun, right? Yeah. Maybe that's part of like his confession. Maybe that weapon will be found elsewhere. We'll have to stay tuned for that one.
Bodies under a bush. Police say he then drove back toward the U.S. His wife told authorities she noticed his change in location, and the FBI was able to detain him when he tried to cross back into the country. According to charging documents, he then admitted to everything he had done and told authorities he believed his wife has serpent DNA that she passed on to their kids, going on to say he thought they would grow up to become monsters, so he needed to kill them to save the world. Documents also say he has been, quote, enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy.
Enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy. So what? He thought that his tiny little babies got initiated into the Illuminati without him knowing? He said they will end up saying that he believed that his wife had serpent DNA. This story is just getting crazier and crazier. Alan Crook says criminals are not the smartest people in the world unless she was in on it. He had a horrible plan. I want to say I don't feel like she was in on it because she did alert the authorities that he had been missing, and she did cooperate in finding him. So I don't feel like she was in on it, but who knows, maybe. Yep, the Illuminati. The kids are Illuminati members now, according to him.
An incredibly difficult story to hear there, but Coleman did make his first appearance in federal court today in Los Angeles. Reporting live from the border, Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10 News.
Devastating you feel for that mother tonight. Leah, thank
I feel for the mother tonight. I think she's devastated. I think her whole world has just been torn apart quickly. I mean, I definitely would want to see an interview with her or something like that, just because that's really the only way that we could feel out how a person might be thinking or feeling. Because there has been parents out there that will do whole news conferences over their children being lost or killed, and not a single tear will be shed. Their faces don't like turn red at all. When I cry, you can tell. My eyes turn red, my face turns red. Like, I'll start crying, my voice changes. You could just know, like, when I'm really devastated about something. And some of these parents just don't have that, and then later on it'll turn out that it was them. So I guess we really won't know until we hear from her. But if she really is that devastated, it's a possibility that she will never do an interview. It's possible. She might not want to have like anything to do with the media, but we'll definitely keep an eye out. Okay, let's delete this from the playlist. Sweet Vampy says, I don't know what to think about this. Exactly. I've been trying to wrap my brain around this since I found out about it, and today it just culminated when there was speak about like QAnon and conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I was getting like Lori Vallow vibes, and I was like, yeah, no, this story is way too big and tragic for me to just like wait. I have to like cover this as soon as I possibly can. And as soon as I got off my shift, I got home, I ate something, I washed up, freshened up, made sure that my dogs were straight, and I had a playlist to go. I even had the thumbnail ready, and I was like, I'm going live. Like, there's no way I could wait on this. Chris Watts, that was another fucked up situation. Maybe one day I'll do some kind of live stream about him too. He had a lover though on the side, didn't he? Not that that's an excuse, but like for him, wasn't he trying to be with his new lady? Which again isn't even an excuse. People can get divorced. We're not living in a society that shames people for getting divorced. It happens all the time. Alan Crook says, this is very informative. I stayed on a border town for years, and the national media don't report what happened on those towns. I live on a border town. You should see, I don't cover the news here because it's not relevant. If you go through the news stations in my town, it's like local sports, weather. Nowadays it's a lot about like COVID and the vaccine. Nothing about like arrests. Maybe they'll report like drunk driving crashes, like deaths, having like that kind of thing. But according to them, babies never get kidnapped. Babies never die down here. Let's see. Domestic violence doesn't happen. Like, it's crazy. It's definitely like controlled. Somebody is deciding what stories get told and what stories don't. And I used to have friends that were paramedics, and they would tell me like what was really going on, and they'll be like, yeah, no, these stories never end up on the news. Very suspicious. Sweet Vampy says, I have so many parents coming to mind about this. How he tried to help the cops though and do interviews. Right. Yes, he had a mistress. So did Scott Peterson. Remember him? We just covered him recently because apparently he was at the same party as Kristen Smart, and he might be called onto the stand as a witness, because some people actually thought that he was the one that killed Kristen. So that's turning into a crazy case too. But he killed his pregnant wife. He was convicted for that. And he had a girlfriend, Amber, I think her name was, on the side. It's insane. Like, don't do that. Just get a divorce, just like a normal person. Just say it. You know what? I'm leaving my pregnant wife for this chick over here, okay? Trust me, it'll go a lot more comfortably than killing your pregnant wife and then ending up in prison. Yep, he was found innocent a couple years ago. Who was found innocent a couple years ago? Because Scott Peterson is still locked up. What happened with Scott Peterson, if you're talking about Scott Peterson, is that he initially was given the death penalty, but that was overturned into life in prison. But he's still guilty, unless you're talking about somebody else. Okay, let's get into the next clip. This is called Santa Barbara Dad Charged with Killing His Children, and this was courtesy of Fox 5 San Diego. This was posted yesterday.
We begin today with chilling new information about a father accused of killing his kids in Mexico.
That Santa Barbara man faced a judge for the first time today, and our Kasha Gogorchik has been pouring through the disturbing complaint. She starts us off with what came out of it.
Hey, Andrew and Kathleen, and some of these details are very graphic, some too graphic to share here on air, but we do have some more information about what we've learned. Officials say the 40-year-old father, Matthew Coleman, confessed to killing his children, and the motive? He says QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories. A father with a bachelor's degree from Point Loma Nazarene University and a master's degree from UCSB is now in an Orange County jail charged with brutally murdering his 10-month-old girl and 2-year-old son.
So at this time, he's in an American jail because he was apprehended after he had already crossed the border. So I'm assuming they're going to extradite him to Mexico where he committed the crime. So that's probably going to be the next step. Yeah.
In a newly released criminal complaint, the FBI says 40-year-old Santa Barbara resident Matthew Coleman confessed to killing his kids with a spearfishing gun near Rosarito, Mexico. According to officials, Coleman took his kids to Rosarito on Saturday. That's when his wife and the mother of his children called authorities to report a possible parental kidnapping. After he took off with the kids, not saying where they were going. However, she didn't think they would be in any danger, and they had no prior arguments or issue before her husband left the house. The next day she...
Okay, that says a lot. So he didn't tell her where he was going, and she says that they didn't have any arguments or issues. So what the fuck? Hey, Red Wings Hockey, how you doing? How you feeling? I heard that you're like under the weather. I hope things get better for you, okay? We're covering a story about a quote-unquote father that I say quote-unquote because real fathers don't do this shit. He took his kids across the border into Mexico and killed them by stabbing them to death. First they said it was a stake, a wooden stake, like a vampire. And then they said it was a spear fishing gun. So we're trying to get to the bottom of that situation. But yes, we're only going to be covering this story for this live stream. I actually was going to take the day off today from live. But this happened and I just had to cover it. You feel like death? I'm sorry. Positive vibes for you, okay? I hope things get better. I'm sorry about that. That makes me feel bad to hear that because you're a really cool person and I like chatting with you. So I hope things get better.
She contacted police again after her husband and kids didn't come home. With the Find My Phone app, they located Coleman's phone in Rosarito. When they noticed his phone was located at the San Ysidro border on Monday, the FBI in San Diego was notified to interview Coleman. During an inspection of his Mercedes van, they noticed there were no kids in the car and blood on his vehicle registration. FBI authorities then contacted Mexican authorities informing them these two kids were missing. That's when a Rosarito officer told the FBI they located two dead children matching the description. During an interview with the FBI, they say he confessed to killing his two kids because he, quote, thought his kids were going to grow into monsters. He explained QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories and had visions that his wife possessed serpent DNA and passed it on to their kids, and he was saving the world from monsters.
Those are just some of the quotes that Coleman said to the FBI when he was being questioned. Now, authorities say they asked Coleman if he knew what he did was wrong. He said he knew it was wrong, but it was the only way to, quote, save the world. Now, that criminal complaint was filed charging...
Nobody is that stupid. Killing two little kids is gonna save the world? Nah. No, that's not even. You want to save the world? Do good in the world. You want to save the world? You know, try to help the homeless situation. Try to help the, you know, even like the Humane Society. I'm always finding out that like dog pounds are like overcrowded with animals that need homes. All kinds of things in the world that need to be solved. Killing kids is not going to save the world, so I don't believe at all that he believed that. He's totally full of shit.
Coleman with foreign murder of U.S. nationals. To read the full complaint for yourself, we do have a link on our website, fox5sandiego.com. Just click on the Scene On tab.
And Contra, have we heard anything from the mother in this case?
I think that's the big question here. Everyone's probably wondering how she's dealing with this news. Have not heard anything at this point. We do know she was the one who filed that missing persons report with the Santa Barbara Police Department on Saturday when her husband and the two children went missing.
Put him on the radar.
Yes.
Again, we don't know anything about what led to the QAnon element of his life, but we do know that she seemingly was unsuspecting in what was going on. They were planning a trip.
Yeah, the documents certainly point to that. She told Santa Barbara police that the four of them were planning a camping trip that weekend, but that he had left with just the two children. She made it clear in those documents, officials say, she said she didn't believe the kids were in any danger and that they had no arguments, nothing that would lead to any suspicion from her.
They were with their father.
All right.
All right.
The next time in court, an arraignment on the 31st, right?
August 30th.
August 31st is his arraignment. I definitely want to write that down. Matthew T. Coleman. What did they say? August 31st? Arraignment. So they're proceeding to like charge him here in the States. I want to know when they're gonna extradite his ass to Mexico so he can go meet his new buddies over there. They're gonna love him. Alright, oh, no worries, Sweet Vampy. I was just wondering if maybe, like, it was a different case or something like that. Maybe something I don't know about. I'm always keeping an eye out and ear out for cases that I could get into. Manuel Briggs says most of the time when fathers do this kind of stuff to their children, they're trying to get back at the mom in some way. Maybe she's not saying the whole story, because earlier they said that mom had no issues with him and she had no idea, I guess, that he was even into. That's kind of weird, though. I don't know if they're married. I want to say, like, if her husband is into something that hardcore, conspiracy theories, QAnon, all that stuff, you think that he would have, like, talked to her about it, so she would have had some kind of reaction to it. But it sounds like she was surprised that he was even into that. So what did he have, like, a double life or something? I'm just kind of wondering. The next clip is called Santa Barbara Surf Instructor Confessed to Killing His Two Children. This is courtesy of KSBY News. And this was posted, well, on August 11th. It's now officially the 13th where I'm at. So this was kind of yesterday, kind of not. Let's watch.
We're learning more about the case involving a Santa Barbara man who is now being charged with murdering his two children in Mexico. KSBY News reporter Gina Avalos joins us live in Santa Barbara with the details. Gina?
Nina, Santa Barbara police say the mother of the two children who were found dead in Mexico filed a missing persons report over the weekend. Now, soon after that, law enforcement was able to track down her husband's cell phone in Rosarito, Mexico. Now, we want to warn you, the details may be disturbing to those of you watching.
It's unthinkable. I don't.
A wave of shock from residents in Santa Barbara hearing about the gruesome discoveries in Mexico. According to a criminal affidavit, 40-year-old Santa Barbara resident and surf instructor Matthew Taylor Coleman confessed to murdering his two children. He admitted to taking the 10-month-old and 2-year-old from his Santa Barbara home without his wife's knowledge and driving down to Rosarito, Baja California, Mexico on August 7th. A day later, the children's mother filed a missing persons report with the Santa Barbara Police Department. But court documents say she initially told investigators she didn't believe her kids were in any danger. Investigators say the surveillance photos show Coleman arriving to a hotel with his two children. At around 3 a.m. on Monday, you can see Coleman walk out of his hotel room with the kids. Later, at around 6 a.m., he returns to the hotel, only this time he was alone. According to investigators, the children were later found dead by a farm worker. They were reportedly killed with a spear fishing gun.
Well, really, there are no words for someone to take their own children's lives. I think it's terrible.
According to court documents, Coleman told investigators that he believed his children were going to grow into monsters, so he had to.
Let's read all of this. They just said the highlighted part, but I'm curious as to what the rest of it said. It says, M. Coleman confessed to killing his children, RC and KC. M. Coleman said that he drove his children to Mexico on Saturday, August 7th. Because he did not have a car seat, he placed his youngest child, RC, in a box and departed without AC. I wonder if AC is his wife. And then says M. Coleman stated that he believed his children were going to grow into monsters, so he had to kill them. At approximately 5 a.m., M. Coleman drove south on Descanso Road. He pulled off to the side of a road in the area of Rancho del Cielo. M. Coleman stated that first he killed R.C. using a spearfishing gun, piercing R.C. in the heart. M. Coleman stated that Casey did not die right away. Oh my god, I'm gonna bomb. M. Coleman described that he had to move the spear around, thereby cutting his hand in the process. I later observed marks on M. Coleman's hand consistent with his statement, photographs showing those, and then it stopped there. Look at my face, I already turned red. Oh my god, that made me sick. Red Wing Talkie said, all of us have different mental illness issues. I will not hurt anyone, but sometimes I rage out in pain that I think about it. Man, I'm telling you, I go through a lot, but never to do something like that. There's other ways to deal with your frustration. This guy's a fucking nut job. And I hope wherever he ends up, people find out what he did. Because he doesn't deserve a moment's peace in life at all. How he could have been capable of doing that. That sounds horrific. That sounds disgusting. Oh, sweet Vampy, you're still here. Yeah, I feel awful. Never hurt anyone. Never ever. What he did was completely disgusting and horrible, awful. What they described, and he's explaining it. If we ever do see in the interrogation video, I expect he's saying this stuff like it's not a big deal. It sounds like he's describing what he did like it was okay.
To kill them.
Es una persona que tenía una educación superior, de maestría.
We are talking about someone who was educated and had degrees. It was clear to him of the consequences he could face for the actions he was taking.
According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Coleman was set to appear at the U.S. Court District in downtown Los Angeles. Now, we did try to reach out to some family members, but received no response. For now, live in Santa Barbara, Gina Avalos, KSBY News.
Gina, thank you. Investigators confirmed Coleman was detained by Border Patrol as he attempted to re-enter the United States at the San Ysidro border. Officials were able to locate him by using the Find My iPhone application.
Yeah, we knew about that. Observing stuff says, yeah, I never wanted to kill children. No, of course not. I don't want to kill anybody. Or anything, for that matter. It's horrible. He's disgusting. He makes me fucking sick. I can't believe he, for so long, he blended in with the rest of us and functioned like a regular person, and then one day he just decided that this was the way to deal with his issues. Oh, here we go. Santa Barbara got some fine-ass reporters. Damn it. I forgot to ask. This story is just so tragic. I forgot about our inside jokes. Oh, you're funny, Observing. I appreciate you, though. Alright, next clip is called Santa Barbara Man Told Investigators He Killed His Children Because They Were Growing Into Monsters. And it's courtesy of News Channel 3-12. And this was posted on August 11th.
A Santa Barbara man is being held in the deaths of his children who were found at a gruesome scene in Baja California. Officials say Matthew Coleman.
So this looks like he had some kind of court proceeding or some kind of court date. They chose to show us an artist rendering of that. I kind of wish they would have just shown us like an actual video of him walking into court and hearing his charges and on all the initial process of, you know, going to court entails. But all we have so far is this picture, and I don't know about you guys, but he has that duh face on. His eyebrows are like slanted inwards, and he's got his mouth open, fucking mouth breather over here. He's just looking very like confused, like he doesn't know like why he's there. I wish we could have seen an actual video of him just so I could really like read him better. But to me, it's looking like he's just acting like he has no idea like what the fuck he did.
Coleman was caught at the border and in questioning.
There he looks like he's just like with his head tilted, kind of giving like a like I'm here. Yes, just very careless, like yes, like he's just trying to understand. I see a little bit of a smirk. I mean, I don't know if like the artist, you know, recreated his image appropriately, but if this is what he saw, it looks to me like he has no remorse, no empathy, no sympathy, nothing like that showing that he cares at all, that he's of what he did, or that he's even there and facing the rest of his life in prison. This guy is a fucking whack job, but not to the point that it would be an excuse to excuse what he did.
Confessed to the killings. Senior reporter John Palmentary is live. And John, you've been trying to get more details about Coleman and what led up to the shocking act
Here
he's
at
accused of.
Shoreline Park, where Matthew Coleman.
Oh, he took that cue like way quick. He was just like, shut up, my turn to talk.
Coleman spent a lot of time in Santa Barbara. We talked to many people that know Coleman, know about his religious beliefs, his surfing school, and his family. None of this is making any sense, and it's going to take quite some time to process it and find out what led up to these killings.
I'm really glad that I'm not alone in this situation, being, you know, really hard to fathom, and how none of it is making sense. Sometimes I'm a little slow on the uptick when it comes to things, especially when I can't relate to them right away. So thanks.
The U.S. Attorney's Office says Matthew Coleman has confessed.
You saw that picture, right? This looks like a loving father that cares about his children. He's holding his child, protecting them from like falling into the water. He's smiling. Where the fuck did it go wrong?
The U.S. Attorney's Office says Matthew Coleman has confessed to the deaths of his 10-month-old and 2-year-old children, using a spear gun to kill them in a ditch on a ranch around Rosarito Beach in Mexico. The bodies were found by an employee about the same time there was a larger search for Coleman and the kids underway. Evidence has been found, including bloody clothing and the suspected weapon. Coleman's wife alerted police in Santa Barbara late last week that Coleman had left the Santa Barbara area with the children. He had not returned, and he was not returning phone calls. Coleman was caught trying to re-enter the United States through technology that located his cell phone, and both Mexican and U.S. agents were able to track him down. A federal criminal complaint charges Coleman with foreign murder of U.S. nationals, in this case, his children. The document said Coleman had thoughts that indicated his children were monsters and he needed to save the world. Those who know Coleman have said his life was religious and he was a known surfer.
Aha! He was religious. Interesting.
Surfing instructor at the Lovewater Surfing School, which he owned. In the past, he earned a master's degree in Spanish from UC Santa Barbara. He was on the surf.
A master's degree from Spanish? Is that what he said? Hold on.
In the past, he earned a master's degree in Spanish from.
So he knows full-blown Spanish. He's going to be able to communicate with the other inmates in Mexico. He's going to try to make deals and shit to get around. Hold on.
UC Santa Barbara. He was on the surf team at Point Loma Nazarene University in San Diego.
Those who are familiar with Matthew Coleman say in recent years he's had a surf camp in Ventura County, along Santa Claus Beach near Carpinteria, Ledbetter Beach in Santa Barbara, and here at Campus Point off the UC Santa Barbara coast. There were no recent indications of any breakdown by Coleman from those we have contacted who have seen him recently. The case has been actively investigated with the collaboration of Mexican authorities, the FBI, U.S. Customs, the Border Patrol, Santa Barbara Police, and the Santa Barbara County District Attorney's Office. Coleman is being held in custody in Southern California. We have some more information about Matthew Coleman's mindset in recent days. It might shed some light on what put him in the frame of mind that he's in. His arraignment has been set for August 31st. Reporting live in Santa Barbara, I'm News Channel.
He's not going to tell us?
Reporter John Palmentary.
All right, thank you, John. The tragedy is putting mental health and the danger of conspiracy theories in the spotlight. News Channel 3.
Here we go.
Tracy Lair joins us now live. And Tracy, you reached out to the county's behavioral wellness team and a professor who teaches the psychology of conspiracy at UCSB.
That's right, Beth. The whole community is saddened by this, and Susan Grimacy with the Department of Behavioral Health says it's going to take time to just understand it. Federal authorities say they spoke to the Santa Barbara father and surf instructor who's accused of killing his 2 young children. They say he told them that he believed in QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories. They say he told them that his wife had serpent DNA and passed it on to their children.
Our natural inclination is to get information to help us to better understand a hard to understand tragedy with the thoughts that will make us feel better with the understanding. The reality is that this may have a lot of questions that can't be answered, and we have to learn to be okay with that.
Grimacy says if you see someone struggling with mental health, or you should reach out. There is a 24-hour access line. You can access it on your laptop or your phone. It's linked to the county website. And we will hear more from Susan Grimacy and also a professor studying those kind of conspiracy theories tonight at 11, and we'll have more with Grimacy at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Santa Barbara, I'm News Channel reporter Tracy Lair.
All right, thank you for that, Tracy. Stay with News Channel 3 to keep you updated with the very...
Okay, let me catch up to the chat real quick. Red Wings Hockey said no disrespect, but Daryl off The Walking Dead, his character is sexy. I want to use a bow and arrow. Have you seen him in Boondock Saints? You should watch that movie if you've never seen it. It's really good. Emmanuel Briggs says they must be a couple because only couples would cut each other off like that. That was crazy. She was still talking and he was just like, shut your face, and he just started talking. That was wild. Surf team, yeah, he was a surfing instructor, so maybe he had a team. I don't know too much about that part. Red Wings Hockey says I want everyone to learn how to love on someone. I don't know. I learned that he was religious all his life. So I'm telling you, I'm going to start developing my own theory and saying that there's some religion out there, or maybe some sort of like sector of a certain religion that's teaching people that kids turn into zombies and monsters and need to die. This is becoming too much of a coincidence. If this becomes something like an epidemic, if more parents start coming out saying this, there needs to be an investigation as far as like who's teaching this shit, because it's a problem. It's already a problem. Alright, let's continue. Santa Barbara surf school owner arrested in murders of his 2 young children in Mexico, and this is courtesy of CBS Los Angeles. And for those of you that are just coming into the room, I apologize if some of the information is repetitive. I only had time to make a playlist, not really go through it and edit it out. But I thought that having a thorough, well-rounded view of the information that was being put out by the media would be good anyways. So I was just like, you know what, let's go ahead and just watch them all, and then that way we can all talk about it. Let's go ahead and watch the next clip.
California.
This was posted August 11th.
Father, accused of murdering his children in Mexico, says QAnon and the Illuminati made him do it. It is a shocking claim and a shocking crime. CBS 2's Susie Sa is here with the really disturbing details in this case. Susie?
Well, Pat, the FBI says tonight Matthew Coleman confessed to killing his 2-year-old son and 10-month-old daughter with a spear gun and then dumping their bodies in a ditch near Rosarito, Mexico. The search for Coleman and the children began on Saturday. Coleman's wife called Santa Barbara police. She said the family was getting ready to go camping when her husband suddenly took off with their children. On Sunday, police tracked.
That's where I got camping from, or hiking. I thought they were gonna. So they were planning on going on a trip together, but he decided to just take them. What if there was a point in time where he considered going ahead with the camping trip, all 4 of them, and he was gonna kill the mom and the kids, and then for some reason he decided to just turn on the kids. We'll have to keep looking into it to find out, but the story is just getting crazier and crazier.
Coleman's phone to Mexico. The next day, he left a hotel with his children. Hours later, he tried to cross back into the U.S. alone. He was stopped at the border, taken in for questioning, and that's when the FBI says he confessed, telling agents he put his daughter in a box because he didn't have a car seat, drove his children to Mexico, then shot.
He put her in a box. He put his daughter in a box. Like, he seriously just did not give a shit about his own kids for some reason. And I'm not buying that he believed that they were going to turn into monsters. He's full of shit on that one.
A spear fishing gun into their chests. The FBI says Coleman told them he believed his children were going to grow into monsters, so he had to kill them. Now, the FBI says Coleman also told them he was enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati and was receiving visions and signs revealing that his wife possessed serpent DNA and had passed it on to his children, and that killing his kids was saving the world from monsters. Now, back in Santa Barbara, neighbors, of course, just stunned. They say Coleman was a surf instructor, a good guy, and they say that he seemed like a good family guy.
Just shocked, frankly, immensely tragic, and having known the two kids and the family, that's just awful. I really don't think I have any more words. I'm just stunned.
And these now are new sketches just into CBS 2 from Matthew Coleman's initial video appearance in federal court in downtown LA today. The judge ordered Coleman jailed without bail. He's scheduled to be back in court later on this month. I'm Susie.
No bail. Good. Alright, let's continue. Next clip is, we're down to our last 10 clips. Is called Santa Barbara surf instructor confessed to killing his 2 children, court documents show, and this is courtesy of KSBY News.
So an update now in Santa Barbara. We're learning more about the case of a local resident charged with murdering his 2 children in Mexico. KSBY News reporter Gina Avalos has more from Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara police say the mother of the 2 children who were found dead in Mexico filed a missing persons report over the weekend. Soon after, law enforcement was able to track down her husband's cell phone in Rosarito, Mexico. Now we want to warn you, the details may be disturbing for those of you watching.
It's unthinkable. I don't...
A wave of shock from residents in Santa Barbara hearing about the gruesome discoveries in Mexico. According to a criminal affidavit, 40-year-old Santa Barbara resident and surf instructor Matthew Taylor Coleman confessed to murdering his 2 children. He admitted to taking the 10-month-old and 2-year-old from his Santa Barbara home without his wife's knowledge and driving down to Rosarito, Baja California, Mexico on August 7th. A day later, the children's mother filed a missing persons report with the Santa Barbara Police Department. But court documents say she initially told investigators she didn't believe her kids were in any danger. Investigators say the surveillance photos show Coleman arriving to a hotel with his 2 children. At around 3 a.m. on Monday, you can see Coleman walk out of his hotel room with the kids. Later, at around 6 a.m., he returns to the hotel, only this time he was alone. According to investigators, the children were later found dead by a farm worker. They were reportedly killed with a spear fishing gun.
Really, there are no words for someone to take their own children's lives. I think it's terrible.
According to court documents, Coleman told investigators that he believed his children were going to grow into monsters, so he had to kill them.
Es una persona que tenía una educación superior, de maestría.
We are talking about someone who was educated and had degrees. It was clear to him of the consequences he could face for the actions he was taking. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Coleman was set to appear at the U.S. District Court in Los Angeles downtown earlier today. Now, we did try to reach out to some of their close friends, but didn't receive a response. In Santa Barbara, Gina Avalos, KSBY News.
Investigators confirmed Coleman was detained by Border Patrol as he attempted to re-enter the United States at the San Ysidro border. Officials were able to locate him by using the Find My iPhone application.
Okay, let's continue. The next clip is called Santa Barbara Man Told Investigators He Killed His Children Because They Were Growing Into Monsters. This is sick. This is courtesy of News Channel 3-12.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. At 6, this is KEYT News Channel 3, where the news comes first.
Right now on News Channel 3 at 6, a father plagued by apparent conspiracy theories and unbalanced beliefs about his wife and children. New information about the Santa Barbara man who admitted to taking his young children to Mexico and brutally murdering them.
I'm thinking, since they're talking so much about like his supposed beliefs and conspiracy theories, if, how do I say this, maybe the media is going to end up becoming a reason why government and those that are in control censor that type of information. They already are shadow banning on YouTube a lot of channels that would focus on conspiracy theories like aliens and agendas, the New World Order, the Illuminati. Like anybody talking about that stuff, like YouTube makes it very hard for people to find those channels or to get like notifications. They're taking videos down all the time. Some of the videos that I used to watch regularly like years ago, can't even find them like at all. I wonder if they'll use this situation as a reason to limit that information even more so, because they're gonna say like, hey, this information is dangerous, like people that believe in this stuff, they're starting to kill kids, like we gotta like get rid of it. And I mean, that's a problem because first of all, we don't know what the truth is. Second is, if people, people have a right to have theories and to research anything that they want to. I don't believe that because one asshole decided to do something so horrible and use conspiracy theories and his whatever research he allegedly did as a reason to do something so awful that everybody else should be like in a way punished like for it. I'm kind of wondering if this is going to be a door opening to more censorship when it comes to the information that's on the internet, when it comes to the New World Order and the entertainment industry, the music industry, and the whole like selling your soul. Because I believe that there is some type of entity out there that is controlling the situation more than we know. But I'll say less from this point on. I don't want my channel to get knocked down by YouTube.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Beth Farnsworth. A Santa Barbara man is being held in the deaths of his 2 children, found at a gruesome scene in Baja California. Officials say Matthew Taylor Coleman was caught at the border and in questioning confessed to the killings. News Channel 3 senior reporter John Palmentary joins us live. And John, you spent the day trying to get more details about Coleman and what led up to this act.
He let her talk this time. He let her finish this time. That was him, right?
When Matthew Coleman left Santa Barbara with his 2 children late last week, his wife was suspicious of the circumstances and notified the Santa Barbara police. When Coleman was found, he was in Mexico, and the investigation revealed that his 2 children were found dead on a ranch south of the border. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Matthew Coleman has confessed to the deaths of his 10-month-old and 2-year-old children, using a spear gun to kill them in a ditch on a ranch around Rosarito Beach in Mexico. The bodies were found by an employee about the same time there was a larger search for Coleman and the kids underway. Evidence has been found, including bloody clothing and the suspected weapon. Coleman's wife alerted police in Santa Barbara late last week that Coleman had left the Santa Barbara area with the children. He had not returned, and he was not returning phone calls. Coleman was caught trying to re-enter the United States through technology that located his cell phone, and both Mexican and U.S. agents were able to track him down. A federal criminal complaint charges Coleman with foreign murder of U.S. nationals, in this case, his children. The document said Coleman had thoughts that indicated his children were monsters and he needed to save the world. Those who know Coleman have said his life was religious, and he was a known surfing instructor at the Lovewater Surfing School, which he owned. In the past, he earned a master's degree in Spanish from UC Santa Barbara. He was on the surf team at Point Loma Nazarene University in San Diego. Those who are familiar with Matthew Coleman say in recent years he's had a surf camp in Ventura County, along Santa Claus Beach near Carpinteria, Ledbetter Beach in Santa Barbara, and here at...
Did he just say Santa Claus Beach? That's wild.
Campus Point off the UC Santa Barbara coast. There were no recent indications of any breakdown by Coleman from those we have contacted who have seen him recently. The case has been actively investigated with the collaboration of Mexican authorities, the FBI, U.S. Customs, the Border Patrol, Santa Barbara Police, and the Santa Barbara County District Attorney's Office. Coleman is being held in custody in Southern California. We've been developing more information about the mindset that Matthew was in prior to all of this taking place last week, and we'll be having more information on that later on in the newscast. His arraignment is set for August the 31st. Reporting live in Santa Barbara, I'm News Channel reporter John Palmentary.
All right, thank you so much, John. The tragedy is putting mental health and the danger of conspiracy theories in the spotlight. News Channel 3 is...
Stop that. Okay, let me see. Alan Crook said exactly the truth is getting watered down more and more every day. I don't like that. Even if it's not the truth, people have a right to have their crazy theories as long as they're not imposing, how do I say it? As long as they're not encouraging anybody to hurt other people, put them in danger, take advantage of them in any kind of way. If somebody wants to believe that, I don't know, a creator is some kind of noodle monster, that's on them, as long as they're not gonna, like, it's not gonna encourage people to, like, hurt anybody or kill anybody. People can believe whatever they want. I remember once somebody on the news put on some kind of form that they believed, what was it? That they believed like some spaghetti man was God or something like that. And I remember thinking, let him. He's not hurting anybody. As long as he's not hurting anybody, people can believe whatever they want. I don't care. Just, you know, as long as nobody's encouraging anybody to hurt anybody, you can believe whatever the hell you want. But like using it as an excuse to water down information, to take it away, shadow banning, you know, that is unacceptable. I want to hear people's crazy theories. Again, as long as it doesn't end up hurting somebody else. Red Wings Hockey says, women have kept me from doing dumb shit. I came out of a woman and have always had sisters who protected me. That's good. I'm not a family person myself, to be honest. I've been alone for a really long time. Doc Connector, welcome. Thank you for joining my live stream. Says conspiracy theorists, truthers are going to be demonized for sure. Not defending Coleman. I don't think you're defending Coleman. If conspiracy theorists and truthers do end up being demonized, it's his fault because he did something horrible and he's hiding behind conspiracy theories and the truther movement as his reason for killing his children. So fuck that guy. Alan Crook says yes, Santa Claus Beach. Interesting. Observing stuff said danger of conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories aren't aren't really dangerous to me. I never once, like, I've spent so much time just reading different ideas and stuff like that, finding out about the entertainment industry and government, the New World Order, 9/11, the Bible, like all kinds of different ideas out there, and I never once was like, I'm gonna kill people now. Like, never. It's something else. He's reacting to something else, and I'm kind of wondering, like, how much I want to believe his wife saying that they weren't having any issues at all. She says that they didn't argue that day, that they had no disagreements about anything. She's saying that she had no idea he was, like, even into this stuff in the first place. That part is just not making sense, but we'll see. Observing stuff that I saw those spaghetti monster memes. Those were trolls. Trolls are gonna troll. But you never know, somebody could actually, like, believe that. I remember for a while people had the option to put that they believed in, like, that they were Jedis on, like, forums and stuff like that. I can't remember what the form was. Maybe the military? I can't remember, but I remember there was some kind of form out there, like some kind of official form that asked, like, what you believe in, and, like, Jedi was an option. You know, Red Wings Hockey says, when life makes a person so bad, kill yourself. I would have preferred that he killed himself over killing his babies, for sure. Alan Crook says, how can people be considered conspiracy theorists if they want to know why we are lied to time and time again? All the mystery with, like, how come once somebody is, like, becomes famous, they gotta do this all the time, and they're doing this all the time, and just things change, and, you know, child performers, actors go from being really innocent, and they bring in all this attention from, like, kids, families, and then they get to a certain age, and all of a sudden it's all sex. You know, there's a reason for all that stuff. There's somebody, like, pulling the strings in the background, and it's obviously a secret, and that's going to get people thinking and researching. And some people have spoken out about it, some people have tried speaking out about it, and then they turn up dead. What are we supposed to think? You know, not everybody is completely happy, just... Whoa. Did you guys hear that? Did that sound like a gunshot? Whoa, that's crazy. The dogs are barking. My dogs aren't. If I hear it again, you know what? Let me play the next clip and just look outside real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be okay. Next clip is called Santa Barbara Dad Accused of Killing His 2 Kids Detained at U.S.-Mexico Border, courtesy of ABC 10 News. Did you hear that? You heard it? Let me go look.
A troubling new confession tonight from the father.
Damn it. Play the video.
They're accused of murdering his 2 young children. Police say he admits killing the children and hiding their bodies in Mexico. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. We do want to warn you, you may find the details of this story disturbing. Our ABC 10 News reporter Leah Pazzetti has the new court document showing what the father claims he was thinking while taking his own children's lives.
We're told authorities believe this Santa Barbara dad took his 2 children down to Mexico where he killed them. He then tried to get back into the United States here, and they were able to catch him here using his phone. We do want to warn you, the details of this story are extremely graphic. Court documents show Matthew Taylor Coleman, a Santa Barbara father and surf instructor, has been charged with foreign murder after authorities say he killed his 2-year-old son and 10-month-old daughter in Mexico. These documents show Coleman's wife reported her husband and 2 kids missing Saturday, at the time saying she did not think her kids were in danger, but worried that the baby did not have a car seat. Using the Find My iPhone app, investigators located Coleman in Rosarito, Mexico. Police say this photo shows Coleman and his kids checking into a hotel there. They believe he took them from the hotel to a nearby ranch where he...
Sorry, I didn't go outside. I just looked outside my my sliding door and somebody was like pulling into the parking lot. So if anything happened out there, they'll figure it out. I'm not going outside. Fuck that. That sounded crazy. Whew, that made me kind of nervous. All right, let me go back into the chat real quick because I know I missed some comments. That was crazy. I think like this story is just making me a little more paranoid than I ought to be. All right, let's see. Where were we? Observing stuff said I need to join a Super Saiyan forum. You want to be a Super Saiyan? Yeah. Okay, I support that. As long as you don't hurt nobody. Observing stuff says real talk. If he ended it all for himself, I could feel bad for him. Yeah, but instead he killed his children, so fuck him. You guys heard that crazy sound? Well, somebody's out there. Somebody just pulled into the parking lot, so if something's going on out there, they could figure it out. I'm staying right here. Observing stuff says, honestly, I don't care much about what his family and friends say because nobody wants to say, oh, my best friend seemed like a horrible person, but I love them. Yeah, they're all gonna say like that they are very surprised. They couldn't imagine he was a great guy until they can't believe something like that he would do something like this. Damn, even my dogs woke up. Observing stuff says, I heard it. I'm used to gunshots here. Sometimes it's gunshots, sometimes it's fireworks. Some people are weird. They hang on to their fireworks and then just decide to pop them for no reason. Yeah, I didn't go outside. I just looked outside my window just to see how it is out there, and there's people like pulling into the parking lot and stuff like that, so I don't think it's anything crazy. But if I start hearing like sirens or seeing like cop lights or whatever, then I will let you know, because that means something crazy happened close by. Cut the lights off and chill. I'm chilling, I'm here. I didn't mean to scare anybody. I was just really curious about that. Alright, let's continue.
He shot them with a spearfishing gun, killing them, then leaving their bodies under a bush. Police say he then drove back toward the U.S. His wife told authorities she noticed his change in location, and the FBI was able to detain him when he tried to cross back into the country. According to charging documents, he then admitted to everything he had done and told authorities he believed his wife has serpent DNA that she passed on to their kids, going on to say he thought they would grow up to become monsters, so he needed to kill them to save the world. Documents also say he has been, quote, enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracies. Coleman made his first appearance in federal court in Los Angeles today. Reporting from San Ysidro, Leah.
I know. I'm that person that goes towards the dangerous situation. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. Alright, let's continue. We're down to our last 7 clips. This next one is called Santa Barbara. Dad confessed to killing kids in Mexico, FBI says, and courtesy of ABC7. Red Wings Hockey says, I heard the pop. I want you to be safe. I know, I appreciate it. I don't know. I don't know what goes through my head. I just I heard it and then I was like, let me just look to see. I don't know. I have a fence, like my back patio area is like fenced in, so I didn't think I was gonna see anything. And if there was something, it happened a ways away, but that was loud, so I was curious. Is there a confession tape or video? There's documents. So far, we just have official documents that they're releasing as far as like what he's saying. So we haven't seen any video, and his first court hearing was depicted with an artist rendering. So we haven't even seen like a video of him since he's been arrested.
New at 11 o'clock, new details about the unconscionable confession of a Santa Barbara surf school owner who who used a spearfishing gun to murder his 2 small children in Mexico. Did a QAnon conspiracy make him do it? Matthew Coleman made his first court appearance in L.A. today, and Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter is live with a stunning new...
Whoa! Look at her. She's like really skinny, but she's like really buff. Like she probably has like 0% body fat. Like she's very like muscular. Okay, sorry, I had a reaction.
New revelations in this case. Leanne.
David, the details on that FBI affidavit are shocking and absolutely heartbreaking. Matthew Coleman telling investigators his kids were going to grow into monsters and he had to kill them.
So young and innocent, their lives brutally cut short by their own father. Matthew Coleman confessing to shooting his 2-year-old son and 10-month-old daughter in the heart with his spear fishing gun because, quote, he was saving the world from monsters. The 40-year-old making his first appearance in federal court today after being arrested for the heinous murders of his kids in Mexico. Coleman, who along with his wife Abby, owns the popular Love Water Surf School in Santa Barbara. According to the criminal complaint, the 40-year-old telling investigators he was enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories, and that his wife possessed serpent DNA and it...
This lady skipped a part. It says, M. Coleman explained that he was enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories and was receiving visions and signs. She skipped this part. Reveling that his wife, AC, possessed serpent DNA and had passed it on to his children. M. Coleman said that he was saving the world from monsters. They didn't want us. They probably think that we won't read, that we'll just go along with whatever they say. But it says that he was receiving visions and signs. What do you guys think about that? That's crazy. The says that she felt creepy. Dude, I saw that. I was just like, wait a minute. Amanda Brooks says, I wonder if they're going to mentally evaluate him. They will. They totally will. And I bet you if he keeps talking like this, they're going to have trouble because that's what Lori Vallow's doing. I'm sure every time they evaluate her, she's talking about how her kids were turning into zombies, how she believes that she's one of the 144,000, and how like the law doesn't apply to her because in America, see, I don't know how Mexico's gonna deal with this, but in America, like, you start saying stuff that doesn't go along with like, oh, I understand like why I'm being charged what I'm being charged, and I understand how the law and court works. If you're saying anything outside of that, you're like mentally not capable like to go through court. But how's Mexico gonna deal with this? Is Mexico gonna be ultimately, because from what I understand, he's being held here because he crossed the border into America, and Border Patrol arrested him, and that's why he's here now. At what point are they gonna extradite him to Mexico, and how's Mexico gonna deal with what he's saying? I'm sure they've dealt with it before, but I'm very curious to see where this is gonna go. I got long arms, but I'm a dude, so it's acceptable. And she skipped a part. Yeah, she did. Receiving visions and signs. I don't think he really was receiving visions and signs. He's not that special, in my opinion. Buffering. I broke it.
And passed it on to his children.
¿Qué tipo de situación podría?
Mexican authorities describing the grisly.
He said, ¿Qué tipo de... Hold on. Let me hear that again, because she didn't translate. This news outlet is tricky. They're trying to, like, hide things. Let's hear what he said.
On to his children.
¿Qué tipo de situación podría?
He said, ¿Qué tipo de situación podría? He was saying what type of situation could have, and then they cut him off.
Mexican authorities describing the grisly crime scene, a farmer finding the children's bloody bodies on a ranch in Rosarito. Hotel surveillance video showing Coleman leaving with his children before dawn on Monday, then returning later that morning alone and checking out. The 40-year-old's wife calling police after Coleman had left with the kids but didn't tell her where they were going and never returned. According to the affidavit, she didn't suspect he would harm their children. Coleman confessing to the cold-blooded killings after being detained at the border. The 40-year-old, who once posted on social media about his family, calling them his treasures, telling investigators he knew what he did was wrong, but it was the only thing that would save the world.
Coleman is being held without bond. He is due back in court at the end of the month.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Yeah, he was saying, like, what type of situation, and I bet you he was going to say, what type of situation could he have been in for him to have reacted in such a way. And that's pretty much how I feel. We definitely need more. We need to know more about his life. She certainly did not translate. I don't know why they cut him off. There are a lot of Spanish speakers in that area. Yeah, it sounds like that's a border town. Let me find out where Santa Barbara is. How far did he travel? Santa Barbara, California to, what was it? Rositos, Mexico. It's 4 hours and 21 minutes. That's crazy. Oh, let me see. It's not far. It's Rosarito, Mexico is actually right across the border. It's San Diego, and then it's like Rosarito is probably like one of the first towns as soon as you cross the border. And then Santa Barbara is just north of Los Angeles. So it's a little bit of a ways from Santa Barbara to San Diego, but from San Diego to Rosarito, they're like right next to each other. They're just on different sides of the border. It's crazy. Alright, let's remove. 4 hours is nothing to the border. To me it is, because I'm 15 minutes from the border. So 4 hours to the border is it's a little bit of a ways. But I live like right next to the border. California is all Mexican. It used to be. California used to be Mexico. Alright, let's continue. Father accused of killing his kids said he was influenced by QAnon, Illuminati conspiracy theories. And this is courtesy of News Channel 3-12. Dot Connector says Coleman was probably getting a divorce and didn't want to pay child support or share custody, or the kids were cramping his style. See, that's what I feel as well. And all this like conspiracy talk is just a bunch of bullshit. It was some real life situations going on. The only thing that kind of throws a wrench into that theory there is that his wife is saying that they didn't have issues. They weren't fighting about anything. They weren't disagreeing about anything, and she was surprised that he even was into like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. That's the only thing that kind of like doesn't coincide with, you know, him wanting to get a divorce or whatever, unless she was like totally clueless of what was going on in his mind. But hopefully we'll get more information as time goes on.
How does something like this happen? News Channel reporter Tracy Lair looks at the murders of these two young children and how it's putting the spotlight on conspiracy theories and mental health.
It appears Lovewater.
Yes, or that, or he had a side relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if a woman comes out at some point and says like that she was intimate with him, or had like a relationship with him. I'm getting like Scott Peterson vibes as well, just waiting on someone to pop out saying that she had a relationship with him outside of his marriage. Observing Stuff says if everything went perfectly, he is a psychopath, which his parents would have seen signs as he grew up. True.
Surf school owner Matthew Coleman drove his children 250 miles
from their home near Hendry's Beach in Santa Barbara to Rosarito, Mexico. After his wife reported them missing, a ranch worker found their 2-year-old son and 10-month-old daughter with fatal spear fishing gun wounds. He was soon apprehended at the border.
Our whole community is saddened by what's happened, and I think there's a feeling of surrealness, of trying to make sense of what has happened as well.
Federal investigators say he told them his wife was possessed with serpent DNA and passed it on to their children who were growing into monsters. Coleman also told them he was enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati. That caught the attention of a UCSB professor who teaches the psychology of conspiracy.
Conspiracy theories such as QAnon.
Ma'am, what is happening on your lips? Okay.
Exploit our mind's natural tendencies to seek patterns and draw connections in order to help us explain a complex and uncertain world. Extreme consequences of conspiracy thinking are quite rare, however, and that suggests that in this tragic case, there may be other contributing factors that have yet to emerge.
Coleman said he received visions
Her lipstick screwed
and
up.
signs.
If you see someone that you suspect may be struggling with a mental health issue, or if you're experiencing that yourself, there is help available. And the best thing to do is to help people make those connections with support, or for people to reach out on their own for that support.
You'll find a link to a 24-hour hotline on our mobile app and website. In Santa Barbara, I'm News Channel reporter Tracy Lair.
Okay, that's that clip. We're down to our last 5 clips. Red Wings Hockey says, no me gusta California. Well, my ancestry is Mexican, so no comment. Observing Stuff says, bruh. She looks like a blobfish. Yeah, she definitely overlined her lips, which I normally don't have issue with. You know, sometimes we're not blessed with nice pouty lips, and a lot of chicks are into that. It was the color for me. Like, that's too dark. I love makeup. I'm like, before I actually ever considered doing like a true crime channel, I wanted to do a makeup tutorial channel, but the competition was just too much, especially with all these chicks having like very professional equipment to do their not their live streams, but their videos and stuff like that. I was just like, that's not something I could do at this time. And then years passed by, years and years passed by, and then I saw like how easy, to be honest, it is to share like screen, and then I realized that news clips are pretty much the only thing that doesn't get like copyrighted or like striked or claimed or anything like that, and it's just I fell more naturally into doing true crime and breaking news and news stories and stuff like that. It was just a better fit for me. Maybe someday I'll have a makeup channel. You should see my makeup drawer. It's ridiculous. I have hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars of makeup. I love makeup. I'm really good at it. Brown lips, that takes kissing up to a whole new level. Instead of brown nosing. That's funny. Observing Stuff says, I don't know shit about makeup, but I know she did it wrong. Yeah, I think so too. Alright, let's continue. Oh, Observing Stuff said you can make a separate makeup channel with uploads instead of live streams. You can make money doing that. Yeah, for sure. The thing is, like, with me, since the focus would be like not so much like my face, but like I would have to be like close up. I would want like proper lighting and probably like a better camera, just so people can see like what I'm doing better. I know like the pros on YouTube have like professional, like those box lightings, and then they have like that ring light, and then probably like a really nice camera. And what I have is just like the basics, because I was just like, it's just gonna be like me talking. What I really need is something to be able to share videos, and then StreamYard is like super easy to use. So that's why I ended up like doing this first. But maybe someday You know, I'll be able to afford like all that stuff, and then yeah, I'll definitely do like a makeup channel. I would love it. I would love to do that. It looks like a lot of fun. All right, let's watch the next clip. California man charged with spear gun killing of children, and this is courtesy of WSLS 10.
The U.S. Attorney's Office says Matthew Coleman has confessed to the deaths of his 10-month-old and 2-year-old children, using a spear gun to kill them in a ditch on a ranch around Rosarito Beach in Mexico. The bodies were found by an employee about the same time there was a larger search for Coleman and the kids underway. Evidence has been found, including bloody clothing and the suspected weapon. Coleman's wife alerted police in Santa Barbara late last week that Coleman had left the Santa Barbara area with the children. He had not returned, and he was not returning phone calls. Coleman was caught trying to re-enter the United States through technology that located his cell phone, and both Mexican and U.S. agents were able to track him down. A federal criminal complaint charges Coleman with foreign murder of U.S. nationals, in this case, his children. The document said Coleman had thoughts that indicated his children were monsters and he needed to save the world. Those who know Coleman have said his life was religious, and he was a known surfing instructor at the Lovewater Surfing School, which he owned. In the past, he earned a master's degree in Spanish from UC Santa Barbara. He was on the surf team at Point Loma Nazarene University in San Diego. Those who are familiar with Matthew Coleman say in recent years he's had a surf camp in Ventura County, along Santa Claus Beach near Carpinteria, Ledbetter Beach in Santa Barbara, and here at Campus Point up the UC Santa Barbara coast. There were no recent indications of any breakdown by Coleman from those we have contacted who have seen him recently. The case has been actively investigated with the collaboration of Mexican authorities, the FBI, U.S. Customs, the Border Patrol, Santa Barbara Police, and the Santa Barbara County District Attorney's Office. Coleman is being held in custody in Southern California.
We are following
He's being held in custody in Southern California. So yeah, they're going to extradite him to Mexico. And yes, he apparently was like majored in Spanish or something like that in college, so he speaks really good Spanish, I bet. Like proper Spanish, not Spanglish like I hear a lot of times, but like proper Spanish, which is gonna be wild to hear. He probably will never do that like on camera at this point, but he's gonna be able to communicate with people once he gets like extradited back to Mexico or whatever. But still, I don't think he's gonna have like an easy time in jail. Observing stuff said, right, I get what you mean. I want to get my gaming channel restarted, but I don't have what I want yet. And then I don't know if you remember or if you were there, I tried gaming and using StreamYards, and there was that crazy black box that wouldn't go away. And I was kind of thinking that maybe some time had passed and maybe like that has been resolved on its own. So I kind of want to try that again. If not, then I'm gonna have to find like the way you're supposed to actually game, because I would be using a Nintendo Switch. For some reason, like with, I think it was Xbox, it didn't have an issue, but when I went to use it for the Switch, like there was this crazy black box that I couldn't like get away from. So I'll try it again, but if that black box is still there, I'm gonna have to figure out how else I could go live and game, cause I'm a Nintendo girl, so I gotta find a way to work it out. Red Wings Hockey says, am I racist? I can't make love unless she's black. I think you could be like pro a race without being racist. I think it's when the rhetoric becomes just like intolerant towards like a different race, maybe that's when it becomes racist. I personally just see people as people. I don't see like race like that. Unless like somebody is being like victimized like for their race, then I'm like, yeah, that's like really fucked up, you know, like that's when I'll just get very, very like impatient, and I hate that. I really hate it when people treat each other differently because of something that they have no control over. That's like treating me differently or talking shit about me or saying that I ain't shit because my hair's salt and pepper. Like, what control do I have over that? How does that make me any less of a person from somebody who doesn't have salt and pepper hair? It's a, you know, like, I just don't want to ever see people like that, because people are people. There's stupid people in every race. There's crazy people in every race. There's assholes in every race. There's annoying people in every race. It's not, it's, you know, people are people, you know. But yeah, I think, like, if you're just, whatever floats your boat is your business. But as long as the speak doesn't, you know, turn into like hate, intolerance, impatience, I think you're good. Why did they give that reporter man that oversized button up? I'm timing myself out. He looks like he's wearing his big brother's clothes. I missed that. I don't think I saw that. Observing stuff says, I'm not sure how to game off the Switch, but if you have an Elgato, it can work with other consoles. I have an Elgato, but yeah, I need to figure out, like, if I could use StreamYards, because that's what I was trying to do. Like, I wanted to game and then have people, like, on a panel if, like, you know, we just started, like, talking about something, and then I could be, like, gaming, we could be chatting and just kind of hanging out like that. That's kind of what that's why I created MissRaeMoody Talks. Actually, now that I've got some people in the chat, let me drop the link for my other channel, for my backup channel. I noticed that I only had like a few subscribers, so one day I might, you know, want to do a panel, and I just want to make sure everybody is subbed, so make sure you're subbed to that. Everyone has a right to a preference. That's not racist. I agree. That's very concise and accurate. Doc Connector says, I wonder if Coleman was coming back to the U.S. to kill his wife too. Yes, that theory has been brought up earlier. That's possible. Wouldn't he just go on the run in Mexico rather than risk being caught by coming back? Exactly. Just so many things about this case. There's just like more questions are coming up than we're getting answers. And then on top of that, the news is just kind of like picking and choosing what they want to say. Like, they have more information right there, right in front of our eyes, and they're only saying like a little bit of it. So I'm probably gonna have to like start looking for articles and things like that, because I want to say that articles are a little more honest and descriptive, and they don't hold back as much when it comes to like graphic details and stuff like that. The news on TV is very selective on the information they put out. Observing stuff says, yeah, gaming and chatting sounds cool. That's what I want to do. Yes, I want a lot of us to do that and teach me how to figure it out. Yes, I will do that. Did I play this clip already? No, this is the one I played, so let's remove it. Next clip is called Santa Barbara Man Suspected of Killing His Two Toddlers Arrested at San Isidro Border, and it's courtesy of CBS 8 San Diego.
We are following just a heartbreaking story impacting both sides of our border. A surf school owner with ties to San Diego is now accused of murdering his two toddlers.
It's so young. It's just so hard to hear. News 8's Chris Groh joining us live in San Isidro now, and you've been staying on top of the latest developments. So what details do you have now, Chris?
And Matthew Taylor Coleman, that is this man's name, the 40-year-old in federal custody right now. He was actually arrested trying to cross back into the United States of America from Mexico here at the San Isidro border crossing. Now, take a look here at your screen. This is a picture of Coleman, and we also know there are a number of other pictures taken from surveillance cameras that Mexican authorities say show exactly the timeline of how they believe what led up to eventually the murder of these two children, a 3-year-old boy and a 1-year-old girl. Now, Mexican law enforcement say that they found both children stabbed multiple times at a ranch in El Descanso, but using surveillance cameras, law enforcement discovered that Coleman had actually checked into a City Express hotel in Rosarito with his two children on.
That's so sad. Look, it looks like the baby was helping him with the luggage. That fucking asshole, dude. I want to kick his ass so bad. He could probably overpower me. He looks strong, but I would beat the shit out of him as much as I could, just saying.
On Saturday evening at around 8 a.m. Coleman can be seen in those surveillance images leaving the hotel with his kids early Monday morning just before 3 a.m. He then returns about 3.5 hours later by himself. Shortly after that, authorities arrested Coleman at the border on suspicion of murder. Now, Coleman remains in federal custody while a joint investigation continues amongst investigators here in the United States of America, as well as U.S. Customs and Border Protection and Mexican authorities. Now, Coleman does own that surf school in Santa Barbara, but according to the school's website, Coleman has ties to the San Diego area as well, earning his bachelor's degree at Point Loma Nazarene University before attending UC Santa Barbara for his master's. Now, Coleman could be extradited to Mexico to face charges if ultimately convicted of murder of both of these children. He could face the next 60 years in a Mexican prison.
That's not enough. Dude, 60 years? Let's find out how old he is. Did they say how old he is? I would definitely call for backup. I'd be like, I'm gonna kick your ass. And be like, hold on. Give me a minute. Let me call my homies. Let me try to find out how old he is. I don't think they released his age yet. I can't believe it. His kids were 1 and 3. The fuck? He's 40. 40 plus 60. Yeah, okay. I mean, I hope he dies in prison. I'll be honest. Leave me and preach it with him for 5 minutes. He'd get fucked up. And I'm not even the jumping type. Okay, but I'm there too. Okay? You guys can, you know, get started, and then once he's like down to his knees and like begging for mercy, I'll come in and knee him in the face. And then we'll finish him. Just fatality. Yes. Yeah, he's 40. So, if he is in fact in prison for 60 years, which to me doesn't sound correct, he'll be 100. Fuck his life. Alright, remove. I'm sorry, so says me, you preach, and anyone else can whoop his ass with us. Yes. Next clip is called Criminal Complaint Reveals Disturbing Details of CA, California, Father Charged with Murdering His Toddlers, and is courtesy of CBS 8 San Diego. Oh, don't do this to me. Come on. Fix yourself.
A Santa Barbara dad has admitted to taking his 2 kids to Mexico, where he killed them and left their bodies. Good evening. I'm Jesse Pagan.
I'm Marcella Lee. Carlo Chiquetto has the week off. Investigators say 40-year-old Matthew Taylor Coleman drove from his home in Santa Barbara with his 2 young kids on a mission to kill them so that they, in his words, would not grow up to be monsters.
News 8's Kirsten Holmes joins us live with what we've learned about the case today. Kirsten?
He's the one who grew up to be a monster. The fucking hypocrisy in that statement is so annoying.
Hey, I'm here at the San Diego FBI office where in my hand I'm holding the criminal complaint against Matthew Taylor Coleman. This details the gruesome murder of his 2 young children because he says he wanted to save the world after he was enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories that he found on the internet. The complaint says that on Saturday, August 7th, Matthew Taylor Coleman took his 10-month-old and 2-year-old from his home in Santa Barbara, California, to Rosarito, Baja, California. The criminal complaint says his wife called police concerned for his safety when he left with their children because he wasn't answering her or other family members who were reaching out to him. But she says she did not believe that she, or their children were in danger. While in Rosarito, the complaint says Coleman murdered his children using a spear-fishing gun into their chests. Coleman said he believed his children were going to grow into monsters and that he had to kill them after he was enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories. He says he was also having visions and signs that his wife had serpent DNA and passed that DNA on to his children. The court filing says Coleman believed he was saving the world from monsters. Coleman told investigators that since he didn't have a car seat, he placed his youngest child in a box for the ride to Mexico, and after he had killed them, he discarded the spearfishing gun and bloody clothes near a creek. After investigators used the Find My iPhone app to track him down, he was arrested on Monday, August 9th, around 1 in the afternoon at the San Ysidro port of entry. Border officials noticed he was returning to the country alone without his small children, and they noted blood on his Mercedes Sprinter registration paperwork. The bodies of the two toddlers had been found hours earlier that day around 8 a.m. Okay, so I read through this entire criminal complaint a couple of times, and I got to tell you, it is pretty horrific. And this comes just weeks after the children's father, Matthew Coleman, made an Instagram post about how much he loves his family, including those two small children that he has confessed to killing. We have this full complaint up on our website if you want to read it at cbs8.com, but I got to warn you, it may not be suitable for all audiences.
What does she say on, what's her station here? CBS 8. I'm gonna see if, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you want to read it? She gave us a warning. She says it's bad. The criminal complaints, I think this is it. I want to see the actual thing. Hang on. Criminal complaint. Okay, so I'm pretty much just finding articles that kind of pick and choose what they want to say about the criminal complaint. What I'll do is I'll see if I could find an actual like document, like the whole thing. I don't want to go by what the news is gonna just say, because I'm having trust issues now, especially since earlier I caught them like hiding some of the information. They did end up like saying it, but I want to read the whole thing myself. So what I'll do is I'll just make a note to look it up, and if I can find it, we'll read it. His name, Coleman. Alright, let's continue. Hey, Nicolette!
Back to you.
Now, Kirsten, what is next in this case?
Oh no, I broke it. Come on, we have like 3 more clips to go. Stop it. Don't make me open a new freaking tab. Let me pause it.
Okay, so Coleman was in court today, and he will be arraigned on August 31st. He is being held without bail, but August 31st is his arraignment.
All right, Kirsten, we'll keep track of that and see what happens during the court process. Kirsten, Holmes reporting live for us tonight. Kirsten, thank you.
Okay, we'll stop that there. Let's delete. Okay, next clip. We're down to our last 2 clips. Is criminal complaint paints disturbing psychological portrait of father who confessed to killing his 2, I'm sure the end of that says children. This is courtesy of CBS 8 San Diego, and this was posted, well, yesterday, August 12th.
We begin tonight with disturbing details in court documents that reveal what might have driven a father from Southern California to end the lives of his 2 young children on a dirt road in Mexico. Welcome to the 10 o'clock news. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Jesse Pagan. A criminal complaint reveals Matthew Coleman confessed to killing his 2-year-old son and 10-month-old daughter south of Rosarito Monday morning. He claims conspiracy theories influenced him.
Tonight, News 8's Richard Allen breaks down what Coleman admitted to investigators with insight from a forensic psychologist.
Well, that's right. According to this complaint, Matthew Coleman told investigators he was influenced by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories, and that by murdering his 2 children, he was, in his words, saving the world from monsters. 40-year-old Coleman also told federal investigators that he had to kill his 2-year-old boy and 10-month-old girl, explaining that he was receiving signs and visions that his wife possessed serpent DNA and had passed it on to his children. The complaint details how he drove the toddlers to Mexico last Saturday and then 2 days later shot them with a spear fishing gun in a secluded area south of Rosarito.
There's so much tragedy.
Dr. Eric Fox is a forensic psychologist and attorney. He cautions that he has not evaluated Coleman personally, basing his observations on the criminal complaint and media reports.
Were they in a manic episode? Are they bipolar? Were they under the influence of something? Were they not taking their medications that could have triggered something in a particular way? I mean, there are a number of theories that one would want to investigate in a case like this.
Dr. Fox points out that Coleman's age, 40, is notable.
We don't typically see somebody having a psychotic break, or at least a first psychotic episode at that age. Those things generally occur in younger individuals between 18 and 25.
The complaint also points out that when Coleman's wife reported him and her 2 children missing, she did not believe her kids were in any danger, adding that there was no argument prior to Coleman's disappearance.
So it appears that this came out of left field even to those that were closest to him.
In terms of Coleman's mental state as a possible defense, it may come down to whether he understood what he was doing as he allegedly committed the murders, although he later told investigators that he knew it was wrong.
Yet at the same time, he indicated that he had to do it to save the world. So, you know, that's going to be for the lawyers to fight over at some point.
And Coleman's currently being held in federal prison without bail, scheduled to be arraigned August 31st.
Now to that tragic story.
Interesting. Alright. So we're down to our last clip. I don't know why my mouse is misbehaving. It's fucking up. Alright. Last clip. This is SoCal dad who killed his 2 kids with spear gun in Mexico. Cited QAnon and serpent DNA. So this is probably a lot of the information that we've already heard, but let's go ahead and just watch it just so we can be thorough. And then after that, we'll be calling it a night.
Now to that tragic story out of Santa Barbara. A surf shop owner accused of killing his 2 young children in Mexico. We are learning more details this morning. They're tough details, and this is a tough story. The FBI says 40-year-old Matthew Coleman confessed to killing his 2 children, 2-year-old son, 10-month-old daughter, with a spear gun before dumping their bodies. Coleman's wife reported her husband and children missing on Saturday, but she did tell investigators she did not believe he would hurt them. She traced his phone to Mexico, where surveillance video taken from the hotel showed him leaving with his children around 3 a.m. Monday morning. He later returned without them. Officials arrested Coleman, when he crossed the U.S. border later that day. He reportedly did admit to killing his own children because he was, quote, enlightened by QAnon and the Illuminati and believed that he was saving the world from monsters. Coleman told agents that he was receiving visions that told him his wife was possessed by serpent DNA and had passed it on to his children. He says he knew killing them was wrong, but it was the only way to save the world.
I don't know. I feel like he's saying that stuff. I'm wondering, okay, let's say he was getting visions. I'm thinking drugs. I'm thinking maybe he was taking something and maybe his wife didn't know, and that would explain like how come all of this is like a surprise to her. Maybe he was sneaking off or, you know, getting drugs and taking them without her noticing though. That doesn't really like fly right either. So we're definitely gonna keep an eye on this story. It's way too important, way too tragic. My condolences to the family members and anybody that's close to the situation, that was affected by it. I'm affected by it. Hearing about this and watching all these clips about it has just been really heartbreaking and disturbing for me. I'm probably not going to be able to stop thinking about it, to be honest. I couldn't today, even while I was at work. In the back of my head, I was just trying to like make sense of the situation, and I was coming up with nothing. I can't relate at all. I've gone through a bunch of stuff personally with my life. I never once really, and I have wanted to give up before things get really tough, but never have I actually like gone through the motions of like hurting myself, like, or definitely not anybody else like close to me. I just can't fathom that like feeling. I feel like he's full of shit. I think this whole conspiracy theory angle he's using is ultimately just like a tool for him to, I don't know, maybe he thinks that like going into a psych ward would be a lot better than jail, but I don't think, considering that they're saying that he's very religious, he probably doesn't know anything about like how the law really works, and he probably made a lot of assumptions that were wrong, and he is in the situation that he's in due to ignorance and lack of knowledge. But like I said, we will continue looking for updates in the situation, because this is far from over. We still need to see how Mexico is gonna like deal with it. He's scheduled to be arraigned, not until like the end of this month, so we gotta find out what's going on. Red Wings Hockey says, none of you wondered why you feel so differently. Differently from what? Dot Connector says things are not adding up. Surely more information will come out in the future. I agree. Hi Sarah D. Thank you so much for being here and hitting the like. I do appreciate that. Anybody that hasn't hit the like, please do so. I'm going to go ahead and end the live for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate everybody that hit the like and also participating in the chat. It means a lot to me to have a place where I could come to and speak to people that are respectful and care about the same things that I do, and have insight and something to add to the conversation. I have an open mind. I don't pretend at all to know everything about anything, so it's very, very important that we all are here together. And yes, so please like, share, subscribe, all those things. Donations also, I appreciate the donations that I receive for this. It does go towards the channel. I do want to like upgrade some things here, and I'm saving up for that. So thank you, I appreciate it. Let's see, I want to make sure that I get to all the chats. Your dog is going off. Okay, give your Rottweiler some cuddles for me. Thanks, Dot Connector, appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope to see you soon. Alright, so I'll go ahead and stop sharing this screen. Yes, peace, much love. And then I will close it out with Emmanuel Briggs' favorite song. Alright, y'all. See you soon. Oh, tomorrow I might go live. Oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna make any promises, but I'll try to go live like on the early side, or maybe in the afternoon. I do have some things that I gotta do in the morning, so honestly I can't even say. On Saturday and Sunday I work from 11 to 4, I believe. So if I do go live, it'll be like in the evening or at night. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope to see you all soon. Bye.